Three, two, one. Hi. I did not count down properly. Also, I'm the pilot today, so this is perfect. This is showing you how this is gonna go. Hi, everyone. My name is Jess. This is my channel. Thank you so much for being here for this awesome session of this first ever time we are playing Life on Mars. This wonderful game by Heart of the Deernicorn, who makes lots of cool stuff and who we actually already have links for down below. Because they make Fall of Magic, which we've played on stream. They've done BFF, which I really want to do on stream at some point. But today we are going to Mars. So let's go around and meet our cast and crew. First up is Anton.
Hello, I am Anton. I am playing Mew, the engineer.
Awesome possums. I'm next. So hi, I'm Jess. You can find me echo_JG. I like motioning to my title. And today I'm playing Hyun, who is, as I said earlier, the pilot. So I hope y'all are ready for me to crash this ship. Yay! Let's go see Jan.
Hey there, folks. I'm Jan. I will be playing Dakota, the commander of this mission to and hopefully from Mars.
No, this is a one-way trip. Yep. Perfect. Jordan.
I'm Jordan. I'm playing Val. I'm the doctor. The only medical person, I guess, on this trip to and from Mars. Yeah, this game is very simple. All of the rules for it are written on the game boards as we play, and it's for those of you who may have tuned into our Fall of Magic, which became a mini campaign. It follows the same. It's from the same company, Heart of the Deernicorn, and follows the same kind of system. Each turn, we're going to choose a prompt from. Currently, we're on our way to Mars, and so something inside of our vessel, and just describe part of it or establish a scene that answers the question put forward by the prompt. The difference between this and Fall of Magic is that Fall of Magic is a lot longer, and this has a timer in it. So, as you can see on our, can we get the first map up?
Yep.
Okay.
Pink. There it is.
I'm lagging. Anyway, as you can see down here, there is our ship leaving for Mars, and once we get to Mars, we'll switch to a new screen. And that's what this little, I don't know, is that a picture of Jupiter? We'll never know. This little Jupiter picture down here, it represents our ship. So we'll be moving that along. All right. Each board adds new protocols. So you can see here, we've got two protocols. The blue one is you just describe this. You can do it as a scene or just a description. And the orange protocols is a tag that you add to someone's sheet. It could be yours, it could be someone else's. And then you explain why that person is, in the case of the galley, dedicated, brilliant, famous, that kind of. All right. And I've been tasked with the first turn, so we're just going to start. Our ship launches. It's a 6-month-long trip to Mars, so that's why there are 6 doodads. All right, and I think this one is me. It's so hard to see the little names. So I'm going to choose Satellite. Who you left behind?
Going straight into the sad times.
Well, we go back there. Unless we all universally decide to destroy the mission, we're gonna get him back home. So, my character Val, who I'm modeling out from Wilford Brimley's character from The Thing, except he has the mustache. He has Wilford Brimley's mustache. He's in his early 60s. This isn't his first space mission, but it's certainly his longest. And he is getting ready. Just sort of, he finds his way up into the satellite bay to kind of distance himself from his crewmates, who he is friends with. But in this first month, it's easier to be a little antisocial, so the rest of the trip, you're not driving each other nuts. That's his experience. So I'm gonna say this: we're like somewhere in the future, right? But not too far in the future, like maybe 2030 or something like that. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
Okay. So he's playing solitaire on an iPad.
That's only 10 years in the future. You're really like, you have high hopes for us as humans.
This isn't a high tech. This isn't a super high tech trip. I mean, we'll say 2050. And he's playing solitaire on an iPad 57, and the screen is 3 feet wide. He's old, and he's he's playing solitaire on an iPad, and it's just sort of floating in space in front of him, and he flicks to I blink my eyes and I flip to the little video, like the little gallery app on the iPad, and it's the last. There's a video message, and it's from my grandkids. They're all living on a farm with their parents, and there's 3 of them, and they're just like, "Have a good trip, Grandpa. We'll see you when you come back." And I smile, and then I go back to my solitaire game. I'm gonna win it this time. And that's my scene. So next up is Anton. You're muted.
Ah.
And I'll move the ship along for you there too. Boop.
Okay.
Does the ship move every time, or does it move once everyone's had a turn?
No, everybody has a turn, and then we move the ship.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Everyone takes. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I was asking.
Okay, my bad.
This is how we get to Jupiter.
Mm-hmm. I'm not the pilot.
So, Mew is probably in his mid-40s. He's well-versed in these sort of missions. He's done a fair amount of time sort of operating as sort of ground control for previous missions. And he's done a lot of preparation for this mission. And he's holding in his hands a laptop computer that he's attached via Velcro to the bulkhead, so that it doesn't float away whilst we're moving along. And he's just pulled up an information display of the ship, and he's doing his old sort of double checking, triple checking of all the systems, making sure that everything's running fine. And I'm going to call that there.
All right, engineer doing engineering stuff. That's good.
What a surprise.
It brings me a certain level of comfort.
one of us is doing our job.
Well, that the engineer is engineering. Yeah.
I'm debating between the flight deck and the galley. Either way, I have a similar like thought in mind.
Go for it.
Hey, Natalie. Everyone that played games last night is here now. Hi, everyone that played
Nice.
games last night.
They did a great job last night, so
Yeah, it was
that's
really
cool.
fun.
Your game was awesome. Thanks for coming and checking out this one. Yeah, this is like, if you've ever seen, Jordan mentioned it at the beginning, but if you've ever seen Fall of Magic, which is by the same company, and it's like a big old map and you move across it, this game is like that. We're moving, only we're stuck in a ship now. We're stuck on a spaceship, so we can't move too far. But until we get to Mars. So let's see. As the pilot, the only trope I know for pilot is hot shot, and that's why I kind of want to go to the galley and do like famous and do like.
I was thinking of giving you famous. So.
I was honestly debating. Like I was seriously like, I'm the pilot. It's between that or flight deck because I'm the pilot and I imagine myself up there. Either way, I was gonna be like, like, I'll go to the galley. Can you give yourself tags or do other people have to give you tags?
You can give it to yourself.
Okay. Can someone come into the galley with me so I can be fancy in front of someone who wants to volunteer to be in my scene? Jordan?
How about Commander, you go watch her pin a medal onto herself.
Oh, that's perfect.
As our lead, I guess you need to be there to sign off on
it. No, that's worse. That makes it so much worse.
Your call.
Set the scene in the galley.
Well, the only reason I didn't ask Jan is because we don't know his character yet, so I wasn't, and I wanted to know more about the.
I mean, I'll go, but there's gonna be a lot of eye rolling. I'm here.
I mean, eye rolling is perfect.
Eye rolling is perfect for what I want to do. I mean, like.
I'm sitting. Well, I guess we sort of just drift. Do we have gravity? I determined. I guess we don't.
No.
No. Okay.
If we're going semi-realistic, then no.
Okay. So I'm just sort of floating in the galley with a plate of I guess they were like freeze-dried scrambled eggs. I reheated.
Eating your freeze good. And do you have your little like your iPad out with like your solitaire?
Always. There's a game of solitaire.
You're playing sad solitaire still, and you're eating your.
It's not sad solitaire.
It's sad solitaire.
I don't think that's on the branding.
Well, there are different like solitaires. There's like, you know.
Just because you play it by yourself doesn't mean it's sad.
You're playing the saddest form of solitaire right now. Every time you complete like a little set, someone's like, oh.
Don't put sighs in my mouth. What do you want?
So yeah, so I'm imagining we haven't like gotten to meet too much yet because we were talking about how we had to be in isolation before this.
No, we were isolated together. That was my mistake.
It. Oh, okay.
But we didn't interact much. It's fine.
That's fine.
I would be following the same rule I established at the beginning where I tried to interact with you as little as possible so that I didn't get sick of you on day one.
Oh, I'm gonna fix that. Time to make you sick of me on day 0.5. Yeah, so you're there doing that, and definitely the pilot walks in, and the pilot is like, despite the fact that we probably all have to wear very similar things, has definitely somehow managed to flash up their suit a little bit, and they're like, they I don't know how I don't imagine they could have smuggled on hair product, but they definitely have like managed to figure out how to just like do stuff with their hair with like water and like, I don't know, the toothpaste that's on board, something. They've like, and they have like a big swoop to one side. They are very handsome. And they probably have actually like been in like commercials and stuff like that. They're like a sports star that does like, not like actually, but like the equivalent of you know, a sports star that does all the like is on the cereal box and like all that sort of jazz. And this is I mean, there, I don't know. I was kind of thinking, like, there's a rumor that, like, they were only put on here to, like, really beef up interest in this.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sad,
like,
sad little slice of reality right there.
Yeah, they're literally, this is their first big mission like this. They previously were, like, you know, like a fighter pilot that was more famous for like doing like tricks and maneuvers and stuff like that than actual practical space travel. They shouldn't be here, maybe? Question mark.
This is instilling a lot of confidence.
This
Thank you.
is how we're getting to Jupiter. It's fine. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, I don't know. They probably walk in to the galley and see you there and take a second to like stand up a little bit straighter and then go over to like where there's some food stuff and act all casual and like look at you over their shoulder and they're like, "Oh, hey there, old timer. How's it going? You enjoying eggs? Is that the dish of the day?"
Yep.
Ah, okay. Sounds good. Go and start making some. You're like, so you've done lots of these before, huh?
A few.
That's good. You know, this is my first real big trip, but obviously, I mean, you've heard of me, right? Like, this is, I'm excited. I'm excited to see all of you, and I'm sure you're all excited to be here with me. I'm ready. I'm ready to make, you know, put a good name on this trip. I have a good feeling about this.
Sure.
Oh. Okay, man, you know, that's all right. I'm gonna continue to like make my food. I'm gonna like shuck it down on the table and sit right next to you, kind of thing. Or are we floating?
We're kind of floating, I guess. I mean, maybe I'm tethered or something.
How do we eat our food if we're floating? Does it just float off the...
Kind of.
Yeah.
You have packets of stuff.
Yeah, we're probably scooping it out of a packet or something to kind of.
Have you never seen that astronaut food?
Yeah.
Okay, then
It's like baby food. You squeeze
I'm
it
gonna
out
fuck
of
it up
packet.
and open the whole package, and food is gonna go flying.
Brilliant.
So, hang on. How are you doing this? I don't know. Like scattering.
I just kind of like float away from where the food is because I don't want to get covered in your eggs, and I just like hold the bag, squeeze it into my mouth. You're not really supposed to just open the whole thing. We're in space.
Well, yes, I know we're in space. I get that. I'm the pilot. I mean, obviously you know me. This is, and they're like flustered now. They're like, well, you know, we're live and learn, you know, live and learn. This, and I'm like just.
Are you scooping all the food towards you?
Scooping it and like eating it. This is, you know what? It's just airing it out. It's good. This is, you know, I like it this way. I meant to do that. This is, you know,
You can do the Pac-Man thing.
No, that's too uncool. I have to catch it and like pop it into my mouth like loose popcorn. I'm just like, This is, you know what? It's aerated. It's gravity, ungravity fed, aerated eggs. That's how I like them.
Kid.
The most free range possible.
Kid. Person's only got so many words that they get to say in their whole life, and I think you just burned through about half of your allotment in this conversation alone. I don't care if you're famous. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't.
No, I definitely am.
Okay. But if you're here, then you're the right person for the job.
I puff out. I puff out even bigger.
They wouldn't have put someone who didn't know what they were doing onto this ship.
Of course not. Of course not. No one else can fly like me. Just because, you know, the first trip to Mars should be best pilot Earth has to offer. That's me, so.
Sure.
I'm gonna, like, attempt to scoop my eggs and leave. Like, you have a good day now.
Yep.
Now I will take the famous tag, thank you. That's mine.
I don't believe they're limited either, so
No,
if someone else feels like they should be famous too, or wants you want all of us to be celebrities,
yeah.
That's fine. All right, good job, Jess. Are you happy that you brought me in on that scene, or what?
I wanted a grumpy person. I think it's better that way. I think it's good, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay. Last for this turn is Jan.
All right. Well, I am going to go to the flight deck.
Someone should.
Yes. Where the hell's the pilot?
Press a couple of those buttons, will you?
So, Dakota is going to be on the flight deck and is actually going to be pleased that right now they seem to be the only ones there, and they have a little time to themselves in the flight deck. They are, well, a couple things as we pan in on the commander of this mission. You notice that they are relatively nondescript, right? The haircut is regulation, but maybe just teasing with the, maybe it's a little long and scruffy, but it's still regulation. The uniform is the exact perfect uniform, but it doesn't have that kind of, military, like, oh, a person in uniform kind of look. It's like, oh, no, it's exactly what it needs to be and not more than that. They look pretty young, not necessarily too young to be the commander, but certainly on the young spectrum of things. But it sort of looks like, if you were sizing them up, that they are almost designed to be not noticed and not remembered. And they are, taking a moment to walk, as it were, from station to station in the flight deck. And they seem not to kind of inhabit the space as you might think a commander would, right? They're not easing into seats by throwing a leg over the back of them or anything like that, right? They are almost tentative, right? Making sure they're giving enough space so they're not inadvertently hitting a button that they shouldn't. And almost project an air of, at least while no one's around, kind of nervous energy, until they get to the point where they're in front of the large kind of what would be like the front window in a airplane cockpit, right? Whether it's actually a window out into space or the monitor that is currently showing the large view into the space around them. And you almost visibly see a change in their demeanor as looking out onto the vastness of space and the emptiness that is there. it almost sort of calms and centers them. And in this period of alone time and this period of, I am here amid all of this emptiness, that they're almost for the first time you see, in this vignette, you see that they may be comfortable in their own skin for once. And that is an initial look at the commander and, how maybe they think about themselves in this mission to Mars.
I like this commander.
See, I was gonna say, this is why I'm glad I didn't pull the commander into my scene, because I'm glad they got to have this introduction, because I think it was really good. Also, they weren't grumpy enough for my scene.
Yeah, we all need to be grumpy, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes,
all
this
right.
is the grumpy mission to Mars.
So this is that's the end of our first month, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So it's back around to me. I will now move the ship one forward, and I'm gonna stay in the galley, I think. But I'm gonna drag Anton in here.
Okay.
So we're a month in, and I've started becoming a little bit more social, mostly because I have to do regular checkups on all of you. So you and I are enjoying some kind of beverage. I guess it would just be water. We're sharing a water, but
You can have tea and coffee.
all right. Well, then we're
They
definitely sharing
have
tea.
worked out how to have tea and coffee in space.
Okay.
It's very cunning.
Also, it's the future. Make stuff up.
Yeah. We're drinking tea, and
Yes.
And Mew, you said you were a grumpy old man as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say you're older or younger than Val?
Younger.
I'm thinking 61. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 40 something.
Okay. But it's believable. We've been on a job together before, on a mission before. Okay. So I'm taking your blood pressure while you drink your tea. So we've got a hotshot ace and one of the youngest commanders that any of these trips has ever seen, and then there's you and me.
Yep.
I think we're fine. I think we're fine.
Why does it still smell of scrambled eggs in here?
I was here for when that happened. I am not the one that's going to be cleaning it up.
Well, I mean, it's been a month. It's all through the air ducts now.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, this ship is about 75% egg now. But that's just our new reality, I guess.
Yes.
When they asked me if I was going to be, if I wanted to be the doc on this, I mean, I'm getting a little long in the tooth for space missions. But, a trip to Mars, especially one that I could come back from, I think that's an appealing thought. But the first thing that came into my head was, who's running the machinery on this? When your name came up, I knew that we'd be fine. What is this, like 10 times you and me?
Yeah, something like that.
At least half a dozen moon runs.
Yeah.
We spent the year on the space station.
Yes, of course.
I don't think there's anyone more brilliant an engineer than you, Mew. So I'm glad you're here.
Well, I'm glad you think so. I'm not quite so sure, but it's a job.
I put my hand on your shoulder and I say, well, at least you can tell the planets apart. We need a timer for the number of times we bring that up. And I'm giving you the brilliant tag.
Oh, thank you.
And that's my scene.
Nice.
And now it's back to you. Mew.
Okay. What am I going to do? I hadn't thought this far ahead, clearly.
No, it doesn't have to be anything super complicated.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the cabin. That's me, isn't it?
I think so.
It probably doesn't matter anymore.
I can just barely make out the first letter in all of them, which is how I'm telling them apart. Like,
Cool.
you can see the J and Jan, and then like, luckily,
And the J and Jordan, and
well,
the
but
J
like
and
they're
Jen.
different lengths. Anton's is very distinct.
Yeah.
I feel like I chose a distinct color on purpose.
That's exactly what I did too, Jess. So it's really, we're only ever going to probably be confusing Jordan and Anton.
Yeah.
I've got the big dark splot. That's the easiest way. Anyway, Anton. It's we're hijacking your turn here.
So I'm in my cabin, and I on the wall I've got a little locker of stuff. So open the door of that. Everything's of course tied in. And in one of the pockets, I pull out a very old-fashioned, battered, classic paperback. And I strap myself into my little bed area, floating around with the light on. And this book is a little book by Jules Verne, and I open up to the spot that I was in, and I just carry on reading. And a little smile sort of creeps on my face as I do so. And then carry on reading for a bit, and then think, yeah, I'm really going to have to clear out those air vents now. And so, having been quite happily reading for a while, I get out again, and I float off down the corridor and set up an automated clean cycle on the air vents. That's my scene.
Awesome. Okay. Where do I want to go? Where do I want to go? I think.
You should just spend every month of the trip giving yourself famous over and over and over. It's written on your sheet 6 times.
Oh my
Famous.
god.
Super famous. Super duper famous.
I'm getting more
Super
famous by the
duper uber
moment.
famous.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I like. This is. I almost want to do that. I almost want to like. It's funny because the scene I was thinking of, I was like, I almost don't want to do this scene yet because I kind of want to set it up with more of the Dick Pilot stuff first before I.
I was kidding, of course.
No, but now I want to do it. You can't tell me stuff like that.
No, but it was just a joke, Jess.
No, you cannot make these sorts of jokes because now
Whatever you like.
I want it to be real. Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna do a different take on flight deck reflection in the glass. Your reflection in the glass. So I'm gonna go to the flight deck, and I'm gonna get all. I have once again taken the time, even more so than the time I was in the galley. I have taken the time to figure out how to best how to best like preen myself and set myself up. I'm wearing like my shiniest uniform. I've like got some extra medals on and stuff. My hair is extra swoopy, and I sit down at the flight deck, and I do a quick scan to make sure everything's okay, but not too much. Like, probably not as much as I should. I do something. I don't do nothing, but not necessarily as much as the pilot should. Probably look a little more over. Like, that looks good, and I more make sure it looks active. Like, I go to make sure there's enough like blinking lights on it, and there's enough like cool looking stuff. And I make sure I look in my reflection in the glass of the outside, because it's nice and dark out in space, so it gives you a nice good reflection. But then the reflection in the glass I'm actually doing is like a little digital like communication device, because I'm doing an interview from the flight deck now. So now that I've made sure enough of the flight deck is like lit up, looks cool, looks like stuff's happening, have a good view of me, I'm like, I should probably spend several minutes making sure that this is the communication device is exactly positioned to get like my best side, the flight deck looking good, but also like a little bit of view of space, so it's just really dramatic. Like, I know how to like do PR for myself. This is like, I'm ready. I'm making us all look good. If I look good, we all look good, okay? This is
Are you talking to anybody in particular right now?
I'm pumping myself up.
Somewhere in the background, I drift down by eating eggs again.
I look good. We
in
all
your
look
shot.
good. Yeah. So and then once I'm all ready, I'm like, I like Irish wristwatch. Okay. Yep. We get ready, and I start the call, and you know, I'm like, hello, and they're like, oh. Someone want to be the interviewer? Does someone want to do this with me, or should I just do it by myself? I could just summarize. I don't have to do a whole scene. It's cool. So
Don't forget the 2-second delay.
Yeah, like I have to wait a second. I'm like, hello, and they're like, oh, are we live? Do we have you? And I'm like, yeah, you have me. That's right. You have. It's Hyun, the pilot of the first ever manned mission to Mars. That's right. I'm like, oh, okay, great. We're just kind of like this. I like me doing my hand as a puppet.
Yeah.
Hang on. I should like. Yeah. Yep. You know, and I basically do like a whole. I do an interview from.
Excellent.
From the flight deck. That's what my scene is. It's like. So you get a real feel of what is important to Hyun.
It's an interview and not like an Instagram live or anything like that.
It could be an Instagram live interview. Maybe Instagram has become the main source of news, for all you know. It's 2050 and Instagram news is actually the trustworthiest news.
Careful.
Makes sense to me.
I'm like, yes, okay, yeah. And so that's what I do. That's my scene.
All right. As long as you make us look good.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm here for. Wait, also to be the pilot. That too.
I'm glad you followed up with that.
Yeah.
Mars is
That's
that way.
perfect.
That is Jupiter.
What? Oh, dang, hang on. I just spun as if there's a wheel. I'm very good at this, y'all.
Okay.
This is now Treasure Planet.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jan, round
All
out
right.
month 2.
So month 2. And Dakota is in this scene caught in one of those, you know, commander kind of roles where it's okay, doing the rounds on the ship, making sure everything is as they say, ship shape and stowed where it needs to be and all that sort of good stuff. And they find themselves with a moment again of peace and reflection as they're the only ones in the cargo hold, and they see, Mew's locker of all sorts of gadgets and engineering equipment, as well as a few books, and Val's locker of, excess medical supplies, so on and so forth, a few things locked up, personal things that, you can't see from the outside. You see Hyun's locker that's got, a lot of like floating cameras so they can get set up all artificial kid style when they go out onto the planet of Mars and get everything recorded, and all that sort of good stuff. And quickly walks by their own locker that doesn't seem to contain a whole lot, and is walking along, with the space clipboard and the space pen, and checking everything off and making sure everything is good. And you notice that slipping from beneath the left sleeve of their uniform, Dakota's got a a long strand of worry beads wrapped numerous times around their wrist as kind of a non-approved kind of bracelet look that they normally keep covered by the cuff of the uniform, but they kind of unwrap a few and use those to kind of, I don't know, calm and center themselves as they're going around. And everything again has this air of they're checking things off, everything's where they're supposed to be, everything looks good, we've got the supplies we need. They seem to nod to the lockers belonging to the rest of the crew as if they were the crew almost, and you see them kind of playing out some kind of mental like, oh yeah, I'm getting along with this person and I'm getting along with this person, even though they're the only one in the room. Almost one of those moments of kind of stealing themselves and saying, kind of doing that kind of pep talk to themselves like, hey, we're a month in, things are going pretty well, there hasn't been a whole lot of issues, no problems, we're looking pretty good. And again, taking those moments where from the outside on first glance it might look like, oh, everything's running well, I'm doing the commandery things I'm supposed to doing, but there's that kind of undercurrent of maybe again, maybe they don't really feel like they should be the ones in charge, but trying to take some solace in that, well, everything looks like it's going all right, so maybe it's okay. And that's another vignette of your commander.
Having a team meeting without the team.
Well, you got to do that dry run to make sure it's going to go
exactly.
well.
Yeah, well, it's like practicing a speech in the shower. Absolutely. All right. We're moving on to month 3, but I'm going to maybe take up right where you left off, Jan.
Okay.
I'm gonna join you in the cargo. Is that me? No. There we go. And so as you're kind of wrapping up your little pep talk to yourself, I kind of Val pulls his way through the connecting hallway and into the cargo hold and drifts over to his locker, which is also fairly sparse. I have my own medical bay kind of thing, just off the galley, so I don't keep a lot of my own tools there. But my iPad's in there and a few other things, change of clothes, that kind of stuff, change of uniform. But what I dig around in my locker and you're watching as this happens, and I pull out 2 really big fluffy pink mittens, knit mittens, that I pull over my hands. It's morning and it's morning and it's time. We're coming up on a checkup today, and about an hour, and I pull out these mittens and I pull them over my hands, and I just kind of float in the cargo bay with my hands in the mittens like this. And I just nod over to you and I say, Commander.
Val?
No one's usually in here when I do this.
I hate to ask, and it doesn't seem problematic, but
If you ask, I have to answer, Commander.
What's with the mittens?
Well, when you get to be a certain age, circulation becomes a bit of an issue. But when you're a doctor, physical contact kind of is important. So my wife made these for me, and I put them on, about an hour before I do my checkups on you folks. So my hands aren't ice blocks, when I take care of you. It's cold up here, so it's compounded.
You're not wrong. That's I gotta say,
I know it's silly, but
it's a pretty ingenious solution, and I appreciate you looking out for the crew like that.
Well, I know these aren't exactly what do you call it? They weren't exactly allowed. I think they count as contraband, but when you've been in the business as long as I have, they just kind of let you sneak a few things past.
Well, they certainly don't look like they will disrupt much here, so I can't say I'm too worried about that.
Very soft.
All right.
Well, I'll see you in the galley there, Commander. You're first up, I think, today. So
I'll leave you to it then, and
I'll make sure I'll make sure they're nice and toasty for you.
Thank you, sir.
And that's my scene. It's you guys. That's what I hold in my hands.
Excellent.
And that's me.
So I suppose I'll follow on from that and go into the galley. Val, if you want to join me in there.
In the galley?
Yeah.
I'm the one that's not you. Okay, perfect.
And I can imagine that the two of us have sort of struck up a sort of, well, we have a long-term friendship. So we have a routine where every so often we sort of meet up in the galley. And we've got this sort of Velcro chessboard. We're playing chess. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
maybe it's one of those magnetic boards.
Magnetic Velcro.
Sure. Yeah. Either way, it's not floating around, and it's not getting stuck in the air vents.
Exactly. And trying to think where to go from this. So I say, so we've been in space for 2 months now. I think we need to start working on the sort of mid-flight checks. So I'm gonna send a message back to Earth, see what they want us to do, and just double check with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that you've been doing your regular treks and you're making sure that we're all healthy and everything.
Well, I mean, I've only got the one job, so. But thanks.
Yeah.
We all four of us need to be in tip-top shape for this mission to succeed. So.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Well, I have to say that you're a very dedicated doctor.
Well, I'm only as good as the astronauts I take care of. But thank you.
And I give you the dedicated tag.
I was gonna do that. Dang it. The tags are fun.
Yeah. I could be double dedicated, I guess.
No, forget it. It's too late.
If you could be quintuple famous, then
I didn't take more famous.
I know.
Yes.
Thank you, Anton.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Who's next?
It's
Yes.
me.
Yes.
It's me. I was gonna do the satellite room. I was gonna do Who You Left Behind, but I think instead I'm gonna go back to the galley while I literally am gonna walk into the galley while the two of you are in there. In fact,
Playing chess.
I don't know if Commander wants to come in as well, but I'm literally gonna be continuing my interview. I'm gonna bring it into where y'all are. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's right, I'm doing it. I'm literally like, yep, so this is the inside, and I'm like, oh hey, what do we have here? It's our flight's engineer and our doctor. Well, hello, doctor and engineer. Do you want to say hi to the world?
At this moment, I run up under the table or out of sight. I run up the remote control that runs up the air circulation, so it's just too noisy to talk.
I feel like the interviewer is, the interviewer's like, sorry, we can't hear you. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. It got really loud in here all of a sudden. I don't know. Hey. Oh gosh, I guess I have.
I clandestinely high five Mew.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess I gotta and I have to leave the room because I can't continue the interview in here with y'all because you just cranked up the noise. I'm like, hang on, wave, oh, forget it, walks out. I don't know if I take another famous or if I want to force you both to have fame. I'm trying to.
You force some fame on us. Yeah.
I want to force some fame on other people. Can we say you managed to deflect it with
Well, I certainly don't think we're famous.
Yeah, I think you managed to deflect it, honestly. With your shenanigans that you pulled. I was trying to help you out, bring you a little bit of Fine, don't take any fame. I'll just take more of it. It's fine. Yeah, it's okay. We'll just go back to the flight deck. It's fine. Hang on. I'll show you what I do.
It's all yours.
Yep, fine. That's it. That's my scene then.
And what
and
a
then
scene
a
it
news
was.
flash around the world saying, "Loud noise disrupts interview with famous pilot."
Engineer and doctor sit by doing nothing.
Well, famous pilot does all the work, is what it's. It's one of those terrible things. It's horrible.
So you now had to take double famous.
I have to take super famous. Yeah, because anyone that didn't know me for my previous pilot shenanigans, has now seen this ridiculous interview. That was it was leveling out, it was fine. It was like people were tuning in because it was an interview with the first interview for the first live mission to Mars. But then because of the you know how things get more famous when they're dumb? or when stuff goes wrong?
Things get lit on fire, whatever.
Yeah, so because the interview went poorly at that point, there's clips of that clip, that part memes. That part becomes a meme because of what you just did. And so now I have to take meme famous or something.
I like that. Meme famous.
If you get two famouses, they meld together into one meme famous. That's how it works.
Space meme.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Space Mom, but space meme.
All right, Jan.
All right, that's me again. All right. We're going to do a scene of Dakota, the commander, in their cabin, alone. Again, sparsely, but, appointed according to regulations. And they are taking a moment to kind of sit back and relax. And they've got, a space data pad on that they are opening up to record their latest entry into their commander's log. And Dakota takes some time to recount not so much what doesn't sound like an official report. They'd usually do those right from the bridge in the flight deck, but kind of almost a personal journaling of how the mission has gone so far. And they recount a few anecdotes with the doc and how things seem to be going well, and they report that they're very impressed with their engineer and how they're running the ship and kind of keeping things going and flying. But a large portion of the log entry seems to be taken up with the fact that they are on a mission, and their mission that they get to lead includes such a famous pilot as part of their crew. And they kind of snippet in some clips from the interview and some of the memes that have floated around the SpaceNet, and you can see that Dakota seems to be in their element, kind of almost just the most content that we've seen them so far, in this knowledge that they are getting to share the stage, as it were, with someone that they absolutely hold in high regard. So, and then they wrap that log up, and again, it seems less like a missive that is going to go anywhere. It gets filed in their, records, but not sent to anyone. And they kind of set that down, and you can see that they feel and look almost the most capable, after kind of reviewing that and thinking that through, than we've seen them so far on this mission. And that's my scene.
I feel terrible now.
I'm pretty sure you don't feel that terrible.
I'm sure Hyun doesn't feel that terrible at all.
Hyun is fine. Hyun would be like, yes! This is like...
All right, so we're entering month 4.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can I move it?
Yeah, go for it.
Boof! I told you I was gonna make sound effects.
The pilot peels out in the spaceship.
There's no friction because we're in space, but
No friction.
Somehow
no
she's
sound.
got crash and burn sound effects,
Yeah.
All right,
The pilot station is half controls and half soundboard.
Doc Val drifts into the flight deck, finding a rare moment where Captain Hyun is actually sitting at the command.
Wait, Hyun the pilot or command me?
You're imagining you're a captain of some kind.
Oh, I guess. Okay, yeah, I guess that
You
has
probably do have a rank,
I was
yes.
confusing captain and commander. I'm sorry. Like that was my.
You do have rank, right?
I guess so. I guess that's true.
So, I drift into the flight deck. I think there should be a window.
Yeah, no, I think there is too.
Just it doesn't have to be big, but now we're starting to actually Mars is visible, looming fairly large in the distance. And I drift in, and Hyun is actually, flying the ship for once, making sound effects, which is fine. They're a kid. I could
Damn
do
it! I didn't mean to make this canon, but fine, it's canon now. Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
No. Fine.
And
Monster.
I don't come in here very much. I don't know how it works, and I can play solitaire on my iPad. And I can run the medical diagnostic software, but that's about the extent of my tech ability. Other than managing my own suit for spacewalks and that kind of stuff. But periodically I do come in to get a view, especially now that we've got the glorious red planet in our sight. And the first thing you see isn't me, because everything's fairly silent as we drift through the ship, Hyun, but you do see my reflection, like in the window that you're peering out, because of the lighting coming up from the monitors and stuff. Your face is reflected there, and then mine kind of appears as I drift into the room beside yours. And there's a stark difference. You're barely out of your 20s, and I'm getting the discounts on the seniors menus, and gives me pause and says for like a moment as I look, and I say, "Everything going all right up here?"
Hyun straightens up. Ah, doctor, I didn't see you there. Have you come to admire the view?
Yeah.
Yes, everything's looking all right. Did you? Well, is there anything I can help you with? Is there something you needed? Oh, did I miss my appointment again?
No, you're fine.
Okay, good.
I did just come up here to see the view.
It's pretty spectacular.
Pop quiz, what does this button do? And I point at a button.
That, well, why don't you press it?
No. I'm not qualified.
That button doesn't do too much. You're fine.
Still not gonna press it.
That's okay. What you think because you press it, it might suddenly break something, even though I just told you it's absolutely fine?
That's 100% what I think is gonna happen.
Like if it's what if I told you it's literally just like the windshield wipers?
Well, I wouldn't believe you.
Well, that's because you're smart.
Can't argue with that. So you ready for this? You're gonna the front end of this ship is gonna break off, and then you're gonna have to land it on the surface of Mars.
I might not have been doing this as long as you, but I am trained, and I do have all those medals for a reason.
Good. I pat you on the shoulder, because I can't fix someone who's been blown to smithereens.
Well, good thing, because you're not gonna have to. We're all
good, but I'm not
gonna
that
land
good.
just fine. That won't be the problem where anything goes wrong.
I ignore that. Hinting at that there is some other place where this wall.
No, I just mean there won't be any problem with the landing.
Got it.
We're gonna be fine.
Sure. Good. I drift out of the flight deck more confused and uncomfortable than I did as I went in. That's me.
Okay. So, I'm going to decide where I move in a minute. So, suddenly the lights go out. And this calm voice comes up on the comm. What's just happened?
You're asking all of us?
I was thinking the same. I was like, you hear a voice come like, "Hey, the lights have turned down at the front. Have turned off at the front. Does anyone? What's going on here? Who turned off the lights?"
My iPad's still working.
That's because it's on battery.
It's got a flashlight, so I'm fine.
Right. Hang on. Let me run up some diagnostics. So I run up on some diagnostics and come back on the cob. Commander, we seem to have a critical alarm.
Have we identified what's causing the alarm?
Well, I did just stir the oxygen tanks. Did you guys hear anything just before the lights went out?
What sort of sounds should we be alarmed about there, Chief?
Well, you know, like a big explosion, something like that.
I can't say I've heard a big explosion, Chief.
No, but if you think it might be our oxygen supply, could you maybe double check that?
Why would the lights go out?
Well, I mean, it could. We could have an issue where there's a shortage in the oxygen supply, or some kind of arcing, and it shorts out the electricity. You know what? I'll go and have a look at it. I'm sure it's absolutely nothing to worry about.
Do you need an assist, Mew? I'm not far from there.
Yeah, that might be useful. Let's meet in the cargo bay.
10-4. So I drift in. I've got my iPad in flashlight mode. And then I drift into the room. I'm still playing solitaire as I float.
That's so very cliche, Val.
Look, I'm in the middle of a game.
A game that clearly can't stop for a critical alarm.
Well, I mean, I've been working with you for a while, and I can tell your tone of your voice. You seem fairly calm, Mew. I'm sure we can get through whatever this is together.
True. Yeah. In reality, I was just bored.
Like, cause a problem board? Or?
Yeah. You know, I thought it'd be fun. So, you know, we're going to have intermittent electrical problems, probably for the next month or so, I think.
Okay. On purpose, is what you're saying. You did.
Of course not.
Right. Well, I mean, we are in space, Mew. You know, it's just a tin can between us and the void.
Well, you know, there's
if you're bored, I'll
here.
play cribbage with you or something. Mew.
That's not quite as entertaining. I mean, come on, we've known each other for a long time. We're gonna have some excitement.
Is it gonna spook the hotshot?
Oh, I hope so.
If you can keep these issues to meaningless at the most part, but also rattle the pilot as much as possible, I think I'll back you up on it.
Excellent.
No open flames, Mew.
No, of course. Look, I am an engineer.
No even small explosions. Mew?
I can do sound effects.
Yeah. You can make sound effects into the comms to make everyone nervous, of course. We have to do something to entertain ourselves here.
I mean, we've got little things that will make sounds in the the hull and that sort of thing, I'm sure I can come up with something. So that's the plan. For the next month, we're spooking our pilot.
Okay. I think I'm
Fine.
going to also pretend I have some alien parasite living in me.
I like that. I like that. If we can arrange for you to be incapacitated for at least a couple of days, that would be brilliant.
I think I've got a pill that does that.
Excellent.
But seriously, we're fine?
Yeah, we're fine. It'll all magically, well, through our genius abilities, it will sort itself out cunningly about a couple of weeks before we're due to land.
Excellent. Perfect. Like I said, my iPad's got a flashlight on it, so I'm not super worried. And I push my way back out of the cargo bay.
In the meantime, I'll tinker a bit here and there, and we'll occasionally get some flickering lights or something that people will have to work by. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You monsters. Oh my god.
My.
Frankie wants off this ship. She is so done with this shit.
I know.
She's like, let me out.
But then she'll want to, if I open the door and I let her out, she'll want back in again. And so she's just got to get used to being in here. Come here.
She doesn't want to be here with you two who are plotting evil on our spaceship. Commander, do you hear this? Commander!
I was not there during that scene.
It's just a spot of mischief. Everyone will be fine.
Cool. You were suggesting a break?
I was saying instead of like 2 more months, we do like 1 more round.
And then take the break?
And then take a break. Is that cool with everyone?
So finish this round, do 1 more, and then take the break.
Yeah, we'll bloop tomorrow's, because technically we have 2 more we're supposed to do, I think, but...
Sure,
okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
So, yeah.
It's me! Good job! Thanks, everyone. This is the one who you're apparently the target of your mean pranks. Cool, it's fine. So I'm gonna go over to the satellite. Where the question is who you left behind. And I'm gonna have out my little, my communication device, which I previously have only used for like interviews and stuff like that, and for my fame and making us all famous, really. For really helping to, make sure we're all, there's a lot of bonkers stuff happening on Earth, and I just still want to make sure that we're still in the spotlight, because this is still, like, significant. This is the first manned mission to Mars. I just want to make sure we're getting the recognition we all deserve by being super duper famous. Not just regular famous, super duper famous. And so I have out my my little comm device. And I am kind of looking around and making sure there's no one around. And then making this call. My phone actually just vibrated. Someone is playing into my scheme. And yeah, I do a like voice call, and I'm like, hey, yeah, how's it going? And like the lights are flickering in the background, and I'm like, no, it's fine, don't worry. I know it looks scary. Some stuff has happened the last month, like the last little while. There's been some issues with the lights. I don't know, some faulty wiring or something, but it's okay. It's totally fine. You don't need to worry. I've never been on a mission with a more dedicated and brilliant crew. Everyone here is really just, they wouldn't have put us all here if we weren't the right people for the jobs. This is fine. How's everything going back there? Yeah, put them on the phone. Hey, little buddy, how's it going? Yeah, it's okay. It's fine. Yeah, no, how's your lessons going? Oh, that's so good. Yeah, no, you just keep going. You're doing great. You're gonna be more famous than me one day. Don't worry, buddy. Don't be so hard on yourself. Listen, kiddo. You're the best. And you just keep going. Yeah, you're awesome. Yeah, this is gonna be you. Real soon, this is gonna be you up here. You know what? I'm going to Mars right now, but you're gonna take him to Jupiter. For sure. That's gonna be you. That's right. I know it's your favorite planet. I know. It's gonna be so good. You got this. Okay. I love you. I'll see you soon. Bye. 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 And I like make sure no one else is around. And then I like, okay. That's
Weird
my
conversation
scene.
to have with your dog, but
No. Yeah, that's my dog buddy. He's gonna be the first on the first man mission to Jupiter. Because that's not where we're going. We're going to Mars, not Jupiter. And everyone here knows that. And knows the difference between Mars and Jupiter.
So there's a young Hyun back home?
No, I didn't specify exactly what that was.
Fair enough.
Or who that was. Or what was happening there. That's my scene.
Cute.
It's okay. I know it looks scary, but I trust all of you. I trust all of you so much. And I know everyone here is doing their best.
Jan, what's up?
All right. Nice. So we're gonna do a satellite vignette for Dakota here. Again, a kind of a solo thing. As part of the regular kind of routine, the commander's in checking communications and, you know, all that sort of good stuff, and making sure that, you know, messages from our, you know, kind of ground control are funneled to the right individuals, and all sorts of official communiques get delivered so that the instructions with what we're prepping for, you know, missions and experiments and projects once we land on the planet get communicated out so that you can get, you know, things prepped and ready for that. Any information on the results of regular checks and tests get funneled to the dock so that, you know, all the right decisions and you know, treatments can be made if needed to during checks. And there's a few commendations that come in for Hyun about how well the mission is being piloted, and, you know, maintaining using less fuel than we thought we'd need, and, you know, just the efficiency is amazing, and Dakota's making sure all those get filed, and there's personal communiques to each of the crew that get, you know, filed to their respective recipients, and there's one or two official logs that Dakota files to get reviewed by leadership back on Earth, but there's a distinct lack of personal communication for the commander, and the Dakota spends a little time again looking a little forlorn, just not so much the, oh, I wish somebody had contacted or I had somebody to contact, but just almost like, you know, it quickly turns to a resigned, I didn't expect there to be communication from what was the family I had, what was you get the feeling that this is a person without a lot of connections, right? They went through their schooling and their training with peers, but they didn't necessarily spend a lot of time developing friendships. They don't necessarily have the kind of family that is checking to make sure things are okay. And it just, you know, they spend the time doing a lot of this kind of solo work that they're required to do, and there's some sadness there, but also some, this is my lot in life sort of resignation, and not really expecting there to have been communication. And that's what we see.
Stealing my sad boy thunder there, Jan.
Hey, you said you weren't gonna do it, so
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. All right. We'll say our last month before landing on Mars, right? And before
Yep.
break. Okay.
Yep.
Again, I'm gonna follow up Jan's scene with me intruding on your pensiveness in here.
Fair enough.
I drift in from the galley. Dinner this week was, or yeah, one of the every week we get one nice kind of nice-ish dinner. It's still mushed up into a bag, but this week it's spaghetti bolognese and
spag bowl.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it says on the that's what it says on the packaging. We're in space. We don't have a lot of room for letters. We can't bring all the letters. We only need to bring the most essential letters. So it says spag bowl on the side.
Spag bowl.
And I have not my iPad, but one of the communication monitors with me, and on it is a woman in blue who looks maybe a little around my age, and she is sitting at. I'm sort of holding on to it like this, and I'm talking to her, and she is sitting at a table, and she's also eating spaghetti bolognese, and I said, considering this came from a bag, hun, it's not bad. It's not yours, but it's not bad. Commander's in here. Commander, say hi to my wife.
Hello there. It is very nice to talk to you.
She puts up kind of a shy wave, and she says, he's not causing too much trouble, is he?
Oh, no. Your husband is the reason we are all doing as well as we are on this mission. He is not causing any trouble at all.
Well, I don't know if I can agree with that, but it's definitely not the food that's keeping us alive. Commander, I know Commander Dakota looks a little young there, hun, but I think that they've got a real handle on this.
Well, together as a team, I think we are doing quite well. So thank you for that. But you two enjoy your conversation, and Dakota will move to bow out of the room, not quickly, but he starts that way, like, oh, hey, I didn't want to intrude sort of vibe.
No, I can tell from the way you're moving, and I say, Dakota, we do this once a week during when we get these nice meals. Grab your spag bowl. Join me and the wife.
Well, if I wouldn't be intruding.
No, of course not.
Oh, excellent! Thank you.
She's a way better conversationalist than me, so you'll be thrilled.
And you see that the commander absolutely appreciates the gesture, and doesn't even do the kind of like, oh well, no, that joins right in, and absolutely starts to make conversation, a little haltingly at first, with your wife as well, and asking how things are back on Earth and things like that.
And they'll land it there with us just enjoying a good dish of spag bowl together as a family. Spag bowl. That is my scene.
Nice.
Okay. So I'm going to head up onto the flight deck, and there's nobody else here. And in kind of a reflective mood, and he's been in a reflective mood all day, and it was he'd sort of looked up in his schedule for the day and noticed the date. So he wandered up to the flight deck, saw that there was nobody there, and looked out at the space and sort of his reflection. But he wasn't looking at his reflection. He had the sort of 1,000-yard stare. And what I imagined seeing was himself reflected, but a much older version, grey hair, wrinkles, and but surrounded on either side, he saw what you would assume to be other crew members, all much younger. There's a younger version of Val there as well. And he looks at them, and a couple of the reflections sort of fade away. And he sighs, brings up his laptop, types a couple of keys, and the lights come up properly. And he calls up on the comm. I seem to have fixed the problem. We're all ready to go. And he sighs and floats off down the hallway.
Heck yeah. That's right. Yeah, I'm gonna, since we said we're kind of like, we're going off, we're getting closer, I think in like, I'm literally gonna jump until we're like almost at Mars, and I'm gonna go over to the cabins, and I'm literally, Hyun is literally going cabin by cabin and like checking in on folks, and is like, I'm gonna start with Mew and be like, hey, are you in your cabin if I go over to your cabin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I like literally.
Yeah, I'm there reading whatever this Jules Verne book is.
Awesome. I'm literally gonna poke my head and be like, hey Mew.
Yes.
Hey,
Captain.
Hey, it's I just wanted to let you know I'm about to start prep, start getting us ready for landing, and I wanted to thank you for all your excellent work and fixing all those problems we had. I had some folks calling me back from Earth and saying they were worried, and I told them, don't you worry, we got some of the most dedicated, brilliant crew here possible, and that's you, Mew. That's, couldn't do without you. So.
Well, thank you very much. Yes. Well, there's nothing like a few problems to test your experience, is there?
Yeah. Well, it's good, and I never worried for a second. I knew, I trusted you fully, and I knew anything that might be wrong, you were gonna find it, you were gonna fix it, and I was right, and I'm so glad to have you as have you here with us. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Awesome. And I'm gonna like rap on the door, like ba-da-da, and be like, give you the thumbs up and the pew pew, and then like go on to the next one. And we're gonna go over, and is Val in his cabin?
Please don't fire finger guns inside the spaceship.
Oh, you got me. I hold up my finger guns, and I holster them.
That's like Spaceman 101.
You're right. And that's why you're the doc, taking good care of us. I am unarmed now, Doc. Nothing to worry about here. We're all good. Gonna start us in on the process. Just wanted to let you know. If you want to come see any of those buttons you were interested in asking about flashing, that's gonna be happening. But if you, I almost did the finger guns again. Hang on, let me put them down.
Really took that gag and ran with it, huh, Cap?
Well, I said it, and I take what you say seriously. I know sometimes I don't seem the most serious sort, but
it's appreciated. And no, Captain, I think I'll stay. I'm gonna just rest up.
All right, you do that. You get ready. I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know if that's best with you, so it's not gonna be a bumpy ride. You should be absolutely fine. I'm gonna take her in smooth. It's gonna be good. We're safe.
I just made a joke. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Good job. Can I do thumbs up? Is that okay with you? Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna go on. I'm gonna like sidewalk away from you.
Again.
I'm gonna moonwalk in
Hyun.
space.
Hyun,
Yeah,
good luck.
thanks. Don't need it, but yeah. And I walk out. I'm gonna walk over. Is the commander in their room?
No, the commander is on the flight deck.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go look for the commander in the room. I can only do one scene because it's cabins, but then I'm gonna have.
Oh, all right.
It's
yeah,
fine.
no, sorry.
No, but I could like. If you're. Maybe I get to your
I
door
don't think
and
it
I
was. I mean, we drifted between the satellite and the galley, so I don't think
Okay.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I go and I check commander's not in their captain, and I'll head over to flight deck, and I'm like, Captain, I was just checking in with everyone, but you're sorry. Commander, I was just checking in with everyone. But these roles confuse me. I don't know sci-fi stuff. Anyways. Commander, good to see you. I was just checking in with everyone, letting them know we were about to start the process. Of course, you're already here, so diligent. You
Just want to make sure everything's running smoothly.
absolutely is. We got this. Are you hanging out with me to start the descent?
I thought that would be best. Yes.
Great. This can be good. Strap in, we're going down. You don't really need to strap in, it's gonna be fine. Let's go. And I do the thing. I already have my pilot seat set out, and I jump into it and spin it around
Nice.
and get into spot. Here we go.
And then I float past the door and go, "Don't press the big red button."
I know that's for later. Here we go. And I start. Yep.
Okay.
Your turn. Oh no, I finger guns again. This is so bad. Jan,
Do you
your
know how many
seat.
finger gun holes I've had to patch up? in this-
All right. Is it me then?
It is.
Yeah, it's yours.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it seems like my thought was very much along the lines of Jess's, but I'm going to go with it anyway. So maybe if that scene ended with Hyun getting us ready to depart,
Yeah.
my scene will actually take place slightly before that, before everybody had kind of dispersed to their cabin and before we had kind of gotten to the official launch. I wanted to do a scene where the commander actually got the crew together. And as we've been using it, given our fabulous ship, I'll say we're all in the galley because that seems to be the spot that we can kind of congregate the easiest.
Yeah.
And Dakota will have called everybody together briefly before, a little bit before it's time for that, really start the descent countdown and all that sort of good stuff. And at first you weren't really sure, the commander's done this a couple times throughout the months as we've been getting there just to check in with everybody and so on and so forth. But then as you're there and Dakota starts to talk, you realize that this is going to be a pep talk and kind of a rallying speech to the team, as it were, before we descend. And the commander goes through and really just says almost a kind of giving thanks and praise and hey, I just wanted to say that so far we've put a lot of time into this mission so far, and I am very pleased with how the team has been functioning. Hyun, I want to absolutely thank you for stepping up into the role of kind of team communicator as well as pilot, and making sure that the folks back on Earth really knew what was going on in the mission and how we were faring, and really kind of leading that kind of social face of the team. And thank you for that. And Doc, I just got to say, things can get a little stir crazy sometimes when you're trapped in a small vessel like this, and not only keeping us physically healthy, but being able to check in and kind of keep us mentally in the right place. I really, really appreciate you going out of your way and making sure that we are functioning as a unit. And Mew, I got to say, I did not expect this mission to be fraught with as many technical difficulties and problems as it were. And I've included in my report numerous times that I'm not sure the ship was checked out as well as it could have been before we left, but you seem to have been on top of each and every one of the mishaps and really kind of kept us safe and kept us flying. And really, I feel like as a team, we've already shown that we can work together and look out for each other. And I am just excited for us all to get to Mars and really start the active portion of this mission. And they just deliver this really, and you see, not only does it seem very heartfelt and very, they're kind of expressing things that maybe don't come outside of their shell normally, but they seem more comfortable and more confident kind of with the team for one of the first times since the beginning of this trip. And that's the scene.
Heck yeah, Commander. Yay, here. Like, assumes we're all gonna like cheer them on.
Cheer.
And like,
Yeah.
And Hyun's the only one who cheers.
Yeah.
I would lift my coffee mug. I would lift my coffee.
I did the same.
The commander is absolutely embarrassed at all of that, but appreciative.
Good pep talk, Commander.
Great work. So good.
We'll be fine.
Yeah. I love it. And now before we go, I'm gonna do bloop. I want to just on screen we can see we're going to Mars, people. So before we go to Mars, we're gonna go for a quick break. So y'all should do the same. Make sure you're hydrating, do a stretch if you need to. And when we come back, we will be on Mars. Let's get ready for it.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks for watching. See you in a sec. Woo! Hi everyone, we are back, and as you can see, we are now on Mars. We did it. We're on Mars. Let's do it. We're gonna continue in the same turn order we were going in, but now we're on Mars. So there's a whole new little map for us to explore, and a whole new little set of questions and things. So I think first up is the doctor.
Yep. So there is a new protocol on this page, and if we get the rover up and running, there's another protocol that we can explain then. The new protocol on this page is the module protocol. You'll see beside the rover and the workshop and the lab, the agriculture dome, and the return shuttle, there's a little red symbol beside their name. That means the first thing that has to happen is if you're doing a scene in that area, then you are describing the deployment of that module. And I'm going to start with that, I think. And we're skipping 2 suns. Basically, the track at the top represents the sun going around, and when it gets to the end, our launch window is open for us to get back to Earth. So.
I wish last night when we were playing the game and we had questions, the creator of the game was in the stream and we were able to ask directly. And I wish that the folks from Heart of Deernicorn, I think this was specifically Jesse Crawford. Remember, I don't think I put it in the command. But either way, I wish the creator was here so we could be like, hey, we have a question.
Yeah, I mean, the mixing up of round and turn is an age-old thing, but I think anyway, it's fine. We're gonna do 6 rounds. All right, so the doc is going to set up his lab. Seems to be the thing that makes the most sense. Right, so finally we have space, more room to do things and get things ready. These are basically our ship forms the base of our HQ, and then the attached buildings are made out of that metallic material, that protects us from the elements, and it has a light frame, but is airtight and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, I didn't do a lot of work on deploying the actual HAB. that was definitely you taking the point on that. But this is where you get to see the doc actually really in his element. There's like a reclining chair in case we have to do any kind of surgery of some kind, God forbid. There is the boxes that carried all of my equipment in cargo are now sort of the makeshift counter space all around the inside of the hab. And I have 3 or 4 trays of just different pieces of equipment. I'm also doubling as the biologist on this trip. So, a lot of this equipment has to do with studying the soil, studying how the plants are doing in our eventual agricultural dome, and that type of thing. Nothing really gets the doc it would never be described as a jovial man, but he is definitely he's a kind. I hope I've come across as kind, but he's definitely not someone who's like throwing parties over small things. But anyone who peeks their head in on the day that the lab is being set up gets to see a very about as excited a doctor as you're going to get.
You're really tempting me because so far you've been really short with me.
Go on, jump in.
So yeah, that's it. I'm just thrilled to have a space to call my own, and that's me. And Anton.
Yeah, so having started by setting up the lab hab for Val, I then move on and go and start deploying the workshop. So having established the sort of general habitat, there's lots of crates that have come out from the spaceship that are sort of arrayed around the workshop, and is set up a bunch of frames that has everything neatly marked as to where it goes. And then there's a sign at the entrance that explains that this is for health and safety purposes, or sort of so it's general safety, just because if all the tools are in their marked places, that they're not being lost and jammed in the equipment and that sort of thing. And then there's a little locked box in the corner that is marked fragile and very important. And he opens it, and it's filled with rolls of duct tape. Because, of course, if you can't fix anything with duct tape, it's not worth fixing.
Is there anything? Is it future space duct tape?
Yeah.
Duct tape is already future space.
Yeah. So and already there are areas where there have been sort of pinholes in the sort of campaigns that are covered up with duct tape and that sort of thing. Lots of sighing going on as he does this. Yeah, we'll close out the scene now.
Nice.
All right, sounds good. I was having a little debate on which thing I wanted to do first. There were three things. I was like, oh, it's either be this, but no, it's this, but no, it's this. But I think the first thing while everyone is setting up, that Hyun does, because Hyun has to stay true to Hyun,
Yes.
is an interview back to Earth. So back in the satellite room, doing a report to Earth in the form of an interview, of course. And literally is doing that thing where they're trying to like catch a little bit of everyone and be like, oh, there's our amazing doctor going by to set up the lab. Hey doc, how's it going? No, it's okay. He's busy. Hey, this is Mew, our engineer. Mew. Hey. Oh, okay. Well,
You hear a string of curses behind you.
Oh gosh, this is live TV. I hope you can mute that. Sorry, you know, it's very stressful. We did it, you know, we landed on Mars. Here we are, everyone's very busy, as you can see. Commander, do you have a moment to, Earth wants to say hi? Like...
And the commander will come in a little starstruck, right? Like, you know, very like awkward in front of the, you know, hello there, Earth. And you'll see that they kind of did a thing with their hair, almost trying to look like Hyun, but not really enough for people to notice,
Yes!
you know?
Oh, man.
And just kind of beaming and like, you know,
Yeah.
we're good. Thank you for your support. You know, that kind of thing.
If you do that, Hyun's gonna like take you in their arm, like fully wrap an arm around you, and be like, "Yes, this is them, the youngest commander ever. Yes, they're amazing." And you know, we just want to say like, like they just said, thanks for all your support. We're doing great. We're all working hard up here. We're gonna make you all proud. It's gonna be a really good one, and you know, we'll report back to you soon. You all stay good, Earthside. We'll be back before you know it. Mars signing out. Yeah, that's
excellent.
Haha.
All right. Very nice. All right, I guess that's me then, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. We are going to, after the interview, the commander who absolutely loved that but doesn't know what to do with that needs a project, right? Like okay, I got to go do a thing, right? So while the next thing kind of on the space clipboard that needs to be done is setting up the agricultural lab, so or dome. So the commander will get that project started and start getting the hab set up for that and start getting the crates for that. And you'll notice as they're bringing them out, there's a number of the different crates and contraptions, and they're setting up for trying to grow some things, both, you know, flora and fauna, some microbes, some plant life. You know, there's a hydroponics setup, not for recreational use, and there's, you know, some packets of like, you know, good tilled earth from Earth, you know, and you know, things to set up using some Martian soil. Like, so they're getting things set up. You'll see a lot of the crates are branded with all the, you know, the United Federation logo and all that sort of good stuff. But some are, you know, kind of corporate projects, and they've got their various logos, you know, kind of a weird silhouette of like antlers on one, and, you know, some things like that, you know, various, you know, branding and logos and things like that. But the commander is just like trying to, you know, not sure how to process all the, you know, but just wanting to get the, you know, projects set up, and starts getting a lot of that laid out so we can maybe begin a routine where we're getting some of those experiments set up and things like that. But still, you know, looking competent and, you know, kind of pleased that they're here and really getting things underway. Scene.
All right. My turn again. I move the sun. I feel so powerful. I move the sun. maybe a week goes by, and the agriculture dome is ready, and I imagine we are all having some hand in getting stuff to start growing, but the doc finds his way over there, and you know what? I'm just gonna keep the trend of having the commander interrupting the commander during private moments as much as I can. So we're gonna say that you know you're just finishing up the last bit. We're finally getting to the point where we're planting stuff, and I say, "Oh, Commander, we meet again."
Hello there.
Well, I let you see my first piece of contraband, and now I'm unfortunately, I guess I'm gonna show you my second piece. Was again not expecting anyone to be out here, but I guess you have to keep tabs on everything.
Yeah, it is part of the job.
Anton wrote weed in the chat, and the funny thing is that you're not wrong, but you're going to see that.
I'm so glad I muted because I like shriek laughed.
You're going to see that you are both right and wrong at the same time. So I have a young scientist on Earth, actually, budding scientist back on Earth, my grandson, and he sent me with a very important mission. He wants to be a oh crap, Jess,
horticulturalist.
Horticulturist, yeah, a plant
a
scientist.
Botanist.
A botanist. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
He wants to be a botanist when he grows up. And his favorite plants are the ones that no one else likes. And I mean, he's 7, so I don't blame him. He's always out in the yard. I mean, he saves me on having to hire a gardener, that's for sure. But he sent something with me that he thinks should be growing on Mars. And I pull a little vacuum packed dandelion that's out of my my pouch. I guess we've got like pockets and stuff now. Out of my pocket, and I mean he doesn't know that you can't just put the flower into the into the earth and it'll grow. But I promised him I would plant this dandelion on Mars. So if you could just turn around, Commander, look the other way, turn the other cheek, just for a moment while I do this.
And almost without missing a beat, the commander will turn and point to some of the kind of other racks of things that haven't been offloaded. And they're like, I was checking the clipboard and we've got a lot of supplies, plenty of redundancy built into the things in case anything doesn't work out. So it looks like you've got all sorts of extra beds and extra, just kind of doing a slow inventory turn of, without coming out and saying, put it right over there, kind of giving you the kind of nod to that would be a good spot to not, also contaminate everything. But, and it looks like they've got a number of different things. We're trying a lot of things that, were really fragile on Earth, were really hardy. So again, getting a mix of results is, you'll have a lot to tell your grandson about should all these experiments go off.
Perfect. And I, as you were talking, I was burying the dandelion, the whole thing, just in the dirt somewhere.
You brought an entire not even seeds. You brought like an existing.
My grandson's 7 years old.
You can fit a lot inside of a fluffy pink mitten.
Yeah, you can. You can. All my contraband fits inside the mittens. So yeah, I plant not weed, but a weed in the agricultural dome. And scene.
Excellent.
That's great.
I think I'm gonna stay in the workshop and I'm call it Hayden. Hayden?
Oh, Are you like calling this through the ship? Like you're
Yeah.
like, they'll like perk up like a puppy and then go running. Like,
Come here, I need some
someone
help.
needs me. Like, wow. Come running along. They listen. You think bad things about them, but they want to help. They're like, yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. I need you to go and get me some stuff. So I want you to go over to Val,
Okay.
and I need you to ask him to give you a long wait. Can you do that for me?
Oh, I know what you're doing right now. A long wait. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And
It's very particular.
okay, he'll know what this is.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Anything else?
Yes, some elbow grease.
Elbow grease. Okay. Wow, I always thought that was just a saying. I didn't realize it was a real thing.
Yeah, it's an actual thing.
Okay,
it's very
good.
important.
Okay. Was there anything else? So a long wait, elbow grease.
No, that'll do.
That's it. Okay. Got it. Okay. I will. You know what? I'm not. Last I saw him, he was in the lab, but he might have gone elsewhere. You know what? I'll start in the lab. I'll look everywhere. I will find him. I will get you these things. I will bring them right back. And like, they head out.
Excellent. And then I carry on working and have a little chuckle to myself. And to answer the question on there, how to fix what is broken, I'm putting together a little watering system for the agriculture dome. So, of course, I'm putting some pipes together and can't find the proper connectors for it. So, of course, I put them together with some duct tape.
We're super prepared on this trip.
Oh,
Of course.
so good to go.
Every screw, bolt, nut, whatever, has just been replaced by duct tape.
Duct tape. Cool.
All right. Okay. Well then. Obviously, Hyun goes off and goes to. Do I want to play out that scene? Do you want to do that scene with me, Jordan, or should I do something else?
The look for the long wait?
The long wait and the elbow grease. Or can we just assume it goes poorly and I'll do something else?
What do you want to do?
I'm not sure I'll add much to that.
Yeah, okay. I imagine it just happens a bunch of like confusion. And like,
you come around and ask all of us.
But like Muse said it's what he needed.
Uh-huh. Well, it's what everything needs, is a little elbow grease.
Well, I didn't want to go. I don't want to go back without. They said they needed it. Okay. Well, fine. I'm gonna like go off. And that didn't go well for me. So I need to have. It's funny you did that, Anton, because I was thinking of pulling you into my next scene. So let's pull Anton. Let's get Mew. I genuinely think that Hyun thinks it was just a misunderstanding and doesn't think you were trying to be mean to them. So that's fine. What Hyun is up to next is setting up the rover to make sure we can take it for a spin, as you do when you're the pilot, and that's your thing. Yeah. This is driving stuff. So Hyun has already been to the rover, like, to poke it a little bit, and get it ready. Like, I assume while it's still, like, in its little, like, garage, almost its little rover garage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then they will go and grab Mew and be like, hey, Chief of Engineering, thought you, might want to come, do this check with me. I'm gonna make sure the rover's good to go, for its first missions, and you know, since we had all those problems on the ship with all the lights and all the weird stuff happening, like all the all that issue. Just wanted a brilliant mind to come along with me, help me out, make sure it was all good. You mind?
A brilliant mind? I'm afraid you're looking for somebody else then.
Wasn't that your tag?
Yes.
It was. Okay, good. No, I know. I mean, I get that, engineers might not get to be quite as
all right.
famous, but you're...
I'll come along. I'll come along. Right.
Okay,
What do
yeah.
you want? What do you need?
Well, and just wanted your hand, making sure this was all good in case I miss anything, have another set of eyes.
Right.
Best damn engineering eyes available. So, they're gonna go ahead and get into the rover and be like, strap it and be like, so you ready? And then take it out. This is how we test things, right? And they're literally gonna start. I'm not gonna do the next scene, but just
yeah, there's a checklist.
No, this is how we do, right? This is how, and I'm gonna. My idea of setting it up to take out is taking it for a lap, just once around, see if any of the lights turn off, see if we run out of oxygen or anything. Just
And Mew just stands there and pulls out a checklist, and
I stop very suddenly.
Over the comms, casually suggests, right, you might want to try this. Does that work?
Oh, I assumed you were in there with me.
Okay, from the back seat then. Yeah, right. Try the lights. Yes, lights work. Good. Brakes.
I slam on the brakes.
Yes, they work. Right. Yes, tick, 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 tick. Okay, yes, we seem to be fine. Excellent. How are things your end?
I just really want to make sure that the steering and everything's going really good, and I'm gonna do a couple donuts just to make sure it's working.
And dust flies up everywhere.
Yeah, and then I will perfectly, without looking, reverse park it back into its little dock. Perfect. Unclip, get up. So, seems good? Seems good to you? Has engineering approval?
Yes.
Great. And I pat you on the shoulder and I walk back inside.
And then after you've gone, I go around and do a proper check.
Awesome. Commander?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where we go next.
Mm-hmm.
We've set up the lab and the workshop and the agriculture dome and the rover. We've set up everything.
Well, we haven't set up the
return shuttle, yeah.
The only thing we haven't set up is the return shuttle. So you can shuttle. So you can do anything.
Shovel.
The return shovel. Dig us out of this hole we're in. Yeah, you can do anything.
The hole that you made with donuts.
Anything.
All right, well, the thing that's coming to mind is, in fact, that. So the commander will, seeing that life on Mars is starting to go according to plan and things are getting set up and we're getting established and the lab and the workshop and everything is set up. We've had an initial test mission out in the rover and things are going well. We'll set up the return shuttle and we'll take a little time to, as this, much like the agricultural dome is not directly connected to the main ship and the modules that are directly attached to that, we'll suit up and, do the walk across to where they're setting up the return shuttle and, again, textbook, everything the way it's supposed to be, checked and double checked, and then start getting the return shuttle set up, not so much so that, and definitely not with that air of, this is how we'll get back out of here, but, really that kind of checking that last thing off the list, like, okay, now we are all set and things like that. And you will see that it takes a little longer for Dakota to complete this task than some of the other ones because they tend to stop and, they're kind of looking across to where the lab is and seeing that, oh, I can see that the dock is in there and things are working along just fine there. And, see the rover doing some donuts, but being okay. And obviously Mew and Hyun are doing just fine there and just kind of basking a little bit in the, hey, look, the mission is working and the team is performing the way it's supposed to, and just really taking some satisfaction from that. Just a short little, like, hey, I'm good with where things are kind of scene. To round out this turn.
Excellent. All right, back to me.
Yes.
Have we already done 3 turns?
We did 1 round. Didn't we?
We did 2.
Oh, we did 2 rounds. Okay,
Yep.
We are breezing through this one much faster than we did the last time, I feel like. We got good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as soon as the rover is ready, the dock grabs the commander. Because I'm assuming only the commander and the pilot know how to drive it. Or is it just like a car? You know what? I'm going to say it drives fairly simply overall. I'd
say the commander and the pilot probably have the most experience driving it, but sure. Yes, it's pretty simple for everybody. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just be like, it's just a tractor with an extra set of wheels. It's fine. Come on, Commander. We're getting out of here.
All right.
So we're going to, when you take the rover action, we flip over to the rover page. You can see our home base on the top left. We're going to choose one. We both establish the scene, the first prompt together, and then a die is rolled, and the person whose turn it is, in this case me, does a prompt, uses that prompt to round out the scene.
Sounds good. Where are we headed?
Let's do an honest conversation on the dunes.
All right.
So we don't. This is the first trip out. This is the first trip out in the rover in earnest, and we're not going too far. The dunes aren't far from HQ. And we probably don't say a lot to each other. We're kind of just mesmerized by the view, and it's probably fun to drive in this thing. So it's a little bit of, we can't have the windows down or anything, obviously, but there's some, even though we're on Mars, there's some normalcy to going for a drive.
Sure.
And I just say, how you holding up?
I am very pleased so far with how the mission is proceeding. Things seem to be going swimmingly.
Yeah, that's kind of what you say every time I ask how you're holding up.
Well, that's current conditions.
Sure. The mission is going well. That's great. But I didn't ask how the mission was holding up. I'm asking how you were holding up.
Well, I suppose if I were being honest, I am doing really well. I gotta say, I was probably a little nervous as we took off that things were going to go well, and I'm trying not to get too overconfident, but it feels like things have really started to gel, and I'm feeling pretty content with that right now.
Well, that's good to hear. I mean, you occasionally I've been on, me and Mew in particular, I've been on a few of these, maybe not to Mars, but space missions and things. And not every commander is as good at kind of hiding their feelings, hiding their feelings to keep the crew motivated. So I'm happy to hear that your outward feelings also are your inward feelings.
Well, yeah, I have found that, yes, that I agree. That's not always the case with many we have interacted with in the organization. And I wasn't sure going into this if I would feel comfortable enough to do that, but so far, it seems like a strong team, and one I am, feeling that their like job accomplishments kind of match the kind of the feeling that we all seem to be having, at least from outward appearances, that things are going well and people are feeling well about that. So I'm just trying to what is that old phrase, keep the rudder straight so that we kind of maintain this course. I don't know if we actually have a rudder on this ship. We'll have to ask the pilot.
I don't think we call it a rudder, but that's good, because I'm not going to say I'm scared all the time, but we've been here a little while now, and I was hoping things would get normal and more normal, and thank God for the rover, because the drive is helping.
Good. That's good. Yeah, I will admit, and I didn't want to at the time, but I will admit that there were a couple months in the middle of that flight where it seemed like things were always going wrong, and we might not had what it takes as a crew to kind of pull through that, but I was buoyed by our ability to kind of get us here, and we seem to be setting up well. So
yeah, it really seems like Mew. It really seems like Mew kind of almost knew what was going to happen before it happened. He's that good.
He does seem to have more than the requisite set of skills. I would agree.
Well, he's a little bit of a troublemaker at heart, and I think troublemakers know how to fix trouble.
Well, however he came by the knowledge, it's good that he has it.
Well, thanks for coming on this drive with me. This isn't any particular. I don't have any particular task at hand. I know we need to set up a field lab at some point, but I just needed to get out.
And that's good, and I'm glad. Hopefully, that accomplished what you needed it to. But I think we've surveyed this the landscape here, and I'm not sure right here has any of the features we need for some of the additional experiments we need to do, but I call that checking that off the checklist, so at least we know what is around this bend. So I'd say it was a worthwhile trip. Thank you, Doc.
I mean, Commander, we're on Mars, so everywhere is new.
And that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah. I rolled my D6 and I got a 2, so it's just silence. That's the rest of the trip back. It's just very quiet, but in a comfortable way. I don't think the commander or I are known for our conversational skills in the first place. Maybe there's like a rickety CD player or something that we have, and it's playing some kind of calm, very quiet, quiet classical music or something. We make our way back to home base.
Sounds good.
Rover mission complete. Heart-to-heart activated.
Bam.
It was a subtle ratting out of Mew. It was not. It was more like.
I mean, I would say you didn't rat them out at all. You didn't rat them out at all.
It was like confessing. It was confessing the truth in plain sight, and yet not. Yeah.
Maybe planted the seed. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah. I could see it planting the seed, but I don't feel like it was an actual ratting out, because like the worst you said is like, hey, troublemakers know how to fix stuff, because they're the ones who caused it. Wink, wink.
So Mew is going to have another conversation with Hyun. Is that how you pronounce your name?
Hyun.
Hyun. Trying to think where.
Where you want this to happen? It can happen on the rover. It can happen in one of the labs. It can happen pretty much anywhere. The galley.
Yeah, everything is set up now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, literally
Yeah.
everything is set up now. We can do any of the prompts. The galley has a gathering or daily life or depends on what you want to talk about. Or there's recreation if you want to do any tags.
Yeah, and these are the good
These
ones.
ones are like so.
Yeah.
I'll spend my
I
next
was
4
thinking
turns
that.
giving annoying to Hyun.
Hey, that's
Uh,
mean.
let's do it on the return shuttle.
Okay.
I have
I gotta pull my tag down there too.
an idea.
Oops, I think my tag down.
So, Hyun.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a long wait.
Are you sure?
Yeah, it's a very old engineer's thing. It's you find a young apprentice and you send them off to one of your other older workers, and you get them to ask them for a long wait.
Why?
And what happens is the other guy says, "Right, yeah, okay, stand over there." And then after a few minutes, say, "Right, you've had your long wait, go back again."
You were hassling me.
No, not so much.
Because we're like friends now, is what you're saying. Because we're like good enough pals that, you know.
That's one way of putting it. Yes. Yeah. The thing is that as you get on in life, things can get to a point where they kind of get a bit boring, you know? And you got to play a few games with people just to keep things interesting. And the idea of those things is that, of those games, is that you both sort of try and learn something on the way. It's a journey, if you like. Much like our journey to Mars, it's a journey.
Okay.
So here's the thing. You're supposed to learn from this that I'm a terrible person.
Nah, that's not like that's not you wouldn't josh me if you didn't, you know, if we weren't friends, if we weren't good, right? You're not terrible.
Yeah, you know we had a month of problems on ship coming over here.
Yeah, and you fixed them all. You're amazing.
Yeah,
You're brilliant.
Yeah. Yes, I also caused them all.
What do you mean you caused them all?
Well, there was nothing major to start with. It was just to keep you on your toes, really.
So yeah, you were testing me. You were making sure you were just keeping us warm, you know? Long flight through space. Like you gotta keep us on our toes. That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is what you vets do. You like make sure that we're ready to go if there's any problems. I mean, that makes me feel good. That like did I like I think we all did pretty good, didn't we? We all like
Yeah.
passed your tests.
Yes. I mean, it was supposed to calm a bit of that enthusiasm of yours a little bit, but you know, we can work on that. Anyway, what I brought you here to say really was this return shuttle.
Uh-huh.
There's only 3 seats.
They wouldn't have sent us in this way. What do you mean? They sent us to Mars.
Well, maybe there's a reason why there's only 3 seats.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Hang on. Wait, does one of us have to like stay
At this
behind?
point, I just walked out.
Oh my god! Is there actually only 3 seats?
No, there's a 4th one somewhere.
Oh, you
But
bugger!
you got to find that out.
Oh my god, you absolute brat!
And that's my scene.
You absolute brat! Oh my god! Great, cool. This is fine.
Now, whether or not you choose to work out that there are actually 4 seats or not is up to you.
They can't possibly be that idiotic. They are an approved pilot on the first manned trip to Mars. Like, yeah, seriously, Mew comes clean and then doubles down on the pranks. Like, jeez. Jeez Louise. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, great, cool. I'm just gonna shake my head in confusion. Like, okay, and then head out of there, and I'm probably gonna go to the rover.
Will you bring him with you?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Let me go see what the options are. So y'all did the dunes, right?
Yep.
Doesn't mean we can't do it again.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, I just had a scene with Mew, and my last scene was with the commander, so I'm gonna take the doctor. But I'm trying to decide between the derelict rover and the field lab. Got any opinions?
Well, I mean, if you're bringing me, the field lab might make sense.
Yeah, the field lab makes sense for the doctor, right?
Where we disagree.
Also makes sense.
I know. The title actually really. the title makes sense. The prompt makes sense. Okay, so, yeah, you took. You took the commander
old man
out.
and the hot shot are going out to set up the field lab.
Yeah, so now we have to go set up the field lab. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what this looks like. I think you probably tried to get the commander, but the commander was too busy with something else. The commander had other stuff they had to do. And so instead you have to.
I probably don't like your driving.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where the first disagreement
is. That's the start. Yeah.
So slow down. Slow down. There is literally no rush. Slow down.
No rush, but this is.
And I keep doing the reaching over to try and
If you do that, I'm like, oh, are you taking the thing?
No, I'm not putting my hand on the wheel. That's ridiculous. But it's more. It's the soccer mom arm in front of you, like you're gonna go flying out the window.
I still feel like when you first reach over, I'm like, oh, are you taking you?
God damn it! Put your hands on the wheel.
I put my hands on the. Sorry, I thought you were asking. I thought you wanted to.
I'm worried that if we hit a small bump, you're gonna go flying out the windshield.
No, that's what these are here for. Plus, it's just a little bit of fun. I take an intentional bump to make us do a little bit of a a little bit of a flip.
this is the only rover we've got. You can't drive like that.
And it was meant to take on stuff. It can handle it.
It can survive a few of those, but we're trying. It's still best to avoid it.
I know you're worried. It's fine. Trust me.
Just because your truck's got suspension doesn't mean you hit every pothole.
I know, but they had me testing out. Listen, let me tell you, I've been starting to test out the new models they're already working on for next time. This thing can hack it. Trust me. It's fine. You're good. You're safe. You know what? It's all right. And I'm like, I'll slow down. I'll finally like slow down and be like, okay, you don't like.
What is the rush?
What's the rush? It's just a bit of fun. I thought, have you spoken to Mew lately? Because Mew is all about having fun. Did you know that he faked all the ship problems? Did you know that?
All those space problems.
All those space problems.
Remember all those space problems we were having in space?
Yeah. We were having issues fitting stuff because we didn't have enough space. That was pretend.
You're telling me that Mew purposefully caused problems on the spaceship?
Oh, he said he was keeping us on our toes. He said he was keeping it interesting. He said, I was thinking, the first man trip to Mars was already interesting enough, but...
Hotshot. He was pulling your leg again.
What do you mean?
He was pulling your leg again. Obviously, he wasn't going to cause actual problems on the ship.
No, he said that. He said it wasn't...
Yeah, I know he said it, but he's pulling your leg, Hotshot. Again.
No, he said there was not going to be any actual problems. I know he said that
I know what I'm sure I've been on, this is my 12th mission with him. He wanted you to feel safer, so he told you that he set all that stuff up. But we were in actual trouble a couple of times there, and he saved our ass. He's just pulling your leg. Do you think every mission goes by smoothly? So smoothly that the engineers got to make problems? It's not the case.
I'm like, okay, bud. And I do a donut really fast.
I'm like holding on. It's fucking true. Why would an engineer cause problems?
That's good. You're right. And now I think that Mew is the most honest person on the ship, and you're a big fat liar. Yuna's like, well, now I know where my real allegiances lie. I know who the real problem on this ship was. It was actually the doctor all along. The doctor's the actual troublemaker. Look at that.
That's where we disagree. That's where we disagree.
Guessed it? You're the troublemaker. Well, let me roll and see what happens. I got who is right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
so
who was right?
I don't think it's a crystal clear thing. I think it's that, like I said, I think Hyun now believes that Mew is like a very honest, genuine person to have like come forward and like said these things that he said, and you're like you're a bit of a cad. I think I'm a little bit
Me?
Yeah.
What did I do? Oh, because you think I'm throwing him under the bus.
You're saying that when Mew was trying to like be honest that that he was lying. So I'm just like, okay, hey Doc, you got it. No worries. We'll get you there. We're getting you there in one piece. We got you. Here's your lab. And I like pull up. We made it safe and sound. See, you in one piece. I like pat your chest. Up, all in one piece. You're still good. Here we go.
We also do the silence one for my trip now. For the rest of the setup, we do the silence one.
The silence, like from the dunes?
Yeah. I bring that one back.
You're bringing back the dunes silence?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's fine. Are you gonna shush? I feel like...
No, I'm not gonna shush you.
I feel like if you have nothing to say on the way back, like, Hyun is still talking to you, even if you don't...
Sure.
If you don't respond.
You are hell-bent on using up all the words that you've got.
Yep, that's the plan. Hello, Raiders, welcome! Hey, everyone coming over from Pro's channel. How was your game? How was D&D over in Taldore? I know that's what y'all are up to. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are playing Life on Mars. Let me put the command in chat so you can see it. Life on Mars, which is a very cool game by Heart of the Deernicorn. Welcome, welcome. And currently we finished the first half of the game. We are now on Mars. All set up and doing important science stuff.
Sure.
Also just arguing. Science and arguing.
Endangering the life of the doctor.
Oh, you're fine, you big baby. The doctor is a baby. Baby doctor.
That's funny coming from the actual baby.
It's true. I am baby. It's me. Oh, did the command not work?
Was that your scene there?
Yeah, I think that's my scene then.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the powers.
Yeah, let me try again. I'll just copy paste what you did. That should work.
All right, Jan.
All right. Cool. So what are we gonna do? I know there's all this stuff to do in all our labs and in our base and things like that.
But everyone just wants to rove.
We're jumping on the rover again.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the captain is going to, when the doc and the pilot return from their rover trip to the field lab,
Uh-huh.
the commander is going to, I'm sure this is not even how it works, but he's going to make sure that the rover is refueled, and then he's going to ask the pilot to accompany him on another rover mission.
Okay.
And we're going to head out on the rover.
Okay.
Obviously, the commander will defer to the pilot's driving skills and will do some navigation.
It's the only thing I get to do, okay? Driving is literally my only skill.
Don't sell yourself short. Your interviewing skills are phenomenal.
That's true. I do really great PR work. It's true.
Yep. And we have, in the interim, there has been a communique from ground control asking us to investigate the last known sighting of one of the previous unmanned missions. And so we're going to head off towards the derelict rover.
That's awesome. That is so much fun. That is so exciting.
Is it saying happy birthday to itself out here?
Oh, don't say that! I'm gonna cry! Don't say such... No! Poor little... It's getting dark and I'm lonely. No!
Stop!
Well, you see, if you brush the dust off the solar panels, it becomes alive again.
Can we wake him up?
So, we take the trip, and it doesn't really take us long. It's just in a different direction than we've been, so far been traveling away from the command module. And we make sure that we take the path with the most moguls and hillocks so that we can get some air in the rover and, do some cool jumps and things like that. Because, that's always good with your equipment that's keeping you alive out here in the wilds of Mars.
Yeah, smash it into everything. Why not? Who cares?
And we will arrive at the derelict rover, and we will see that it is not currently functioning.
Yeah.
But our first kind of order of business will be to investigate and kind of get out and just, is there something to, salvage from this, or, is it something that maybe we can do a later mission to, restart really we're here on the fact finding, like what kind of state is it in?
Yeah.
And what we come upon is a largely intact rover that has fallen into basically a crevice where it was no longer able to contact back to Earth, so it was out of communication and it was kind of blocked off. And it does seem to be non-functioning, but it doesn't seem to be damaged or, it. Part of the next big mission might be to move it from this space. And while we are, investigating this and figuring this out, the commander will they have kind of like a kind of a pause, and they kind of reflect a little bit, and the commander will turn to Huan and say, this really feels important. Like, this feels like not just like, this kind of feels like why we're here. This whole mission happened and ended, and nobody knew what was going on. And we are here to be able to kind of find this out and report it back. I think this feels like a significant thing.
Yeah, for sure. No, this is like, we were learning so much and it got like impeded, and like, oh, what if all the previous rovers were, what if we could get them back up and running, and then they were like good, and even when we go back, they're reporting, more than we can do while we're here.
I mean, I think that's not one of the experiments or one of the projects we were tasked with, but now seeing this here, it kind of feels like, it feels almost like the more important job. If we could get this up and running and working again, in addition to the information we're setting up, that just seems significant somehow. It seems important to kind of get that word out.
For sure. I mean, like, even if Mew's real busy with all his super important, oh man, I know he's doing so much and he's so busy. He takes so much on. He's such a great guy. Even if he's busy, I can work on these. Like, this is not too far off from what I fly him, but I can fix him pretty good too. I think I could help with this. I might not be as useful as you or the doc or Mew, but I could help with this.
Well, I gotta say that I am, as always, overwhelmed by your enthusiasm and your spirit to kind of pitch into the team. I really, really appreciate that. And yeah, I think you and Mew together, with the knowledge you have, getting these up and running and coordinating them working, and again, pulling in your PR skills and really kind of getting the word back to folks on Earth that we've got possibly more communication for them. I think that's going to have to take a bigger role on this mission than maybe we thought at first.
Oh, heck yeah! Video series! I got this! Oh man, this is gonna be great. Folks back home are gonna eat this up. It's gonna be great. Oh, great plan, Commander. I think this is awesome. Let's get him on board.
All right. That sounds like a plan, and now I'm supposed to roll a die or something?
I hope you get 1 to 4, and what we take is this rover back.
Let's see. Oh, I got a 1.
Perfect.
So we are definitely taking the rover back.
Heck yeah. Calling this one Rovy.
So we will somehow get this one like attached to the Mako and drive that back to the rover and get this back to the command module as the kind of, the scene fades out with us getting it back to our base.
Heck yeah, this is great. I love it. Perfect.
All right. I am. I'm gonna do a gathering in the galley. So we're gonna fast forward a bit, and we're gonna say that we found 2 other. Yeah, everyone's. I imagine everyone's here. We found 2 other rovers.
Yeah.
And it took a little bit for you to convince the doc this was a good idea. Only because it's
a great idea.
Only because the resources are being taken away from other places to do this. And also he's got a limited amount of contribution he can make to it. But right. So we've only got a few weeks left. Weeks? I guess that's what we're gonna say. To get all this stuff up and running. My best estimation, talking to Mew, is that if we leave our rover behind and automate it, we'll be able to have 2 of these 3. We'll have to cannibalize 1 to fix the other 2. But that'll be 3 rovers operating, sending messages back. Obviously, ours is going to have the best equipment, but maybe we can find a way to have the other 2, the channel whatever information they gather to it, and then that can be then our we should name them, I think.
I already named this one. It's Rovy, and I pat Rovy.
That's the one you rescued.
Not here. He's in the garage. Rovy.
That's the one you rescued, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rovy's our rescue rover.
Okay.
Is that the one we cannibalized with butts?
No! How dare you! Don't talk about Rovy like that.
That's why you don't name it. That's why you don't name them.
No.
So I'll just call ours Rover Alpha because it was ours first, and yeah. So I mean I could do this inventory of the parts because Mew gave me the list of what was needed to repair, and but beyond this, I don't know what I can contribute. So if there's anything I can do to help that doesn't take me away from my day-to-day stuff too much.
I mean, Doc, you keep all of us running. You're good.
Yeah, I know.
I
know that I keep you all standing, but I just mean on this particular project, I'm a little bit out in the reeds here, you know. But I did the inventory. We have to take apart, use the parts from 1 to fix the other 2, and somehow figure out how to wire them back into Rover Alpha so that the strongest signal gets back to Earth. Maybe we can set up the satellite. We can launch the satellite on our way back to kind of help boost the signal.
For sure, and I think if we got 3 Rovies going, I mean they can all bounce off each other, and it's
triangulate or something.
Or something.
Commander, have you run this up the flagpole?
Yes, this has all been reported in our daily briefings. So
we got the thumbs up.
Well, so far there has not been a kind of negatory response. So far we're.
But there also hasn't been a pository response either.
Well, so far as I see it, we're still completing all the other projects and tasks that we've been assigned. So, so far there hasn't been any complaints.
All right. Well, your command. Okay, so here's how you play cribbage, and this is the real. I push everything aside, and I start dealing cards out to everybody.
Excellent.
And that's the end of my scene.
Nice.
So anyway, down to business. Everyone gets 4 cards or 5 cards, and then.
I don't know how to play cribbage. I'm gonna say Hyun totally does, because I want there to exist
Well, no, I'm
some
teaching
world.
you. I'm teaching. The whole
Okay,
point of this
thank
gathering
goodness.
was
Good,
to teach.
good.
Yeah, but I'm ending my scene. We're not going to actually play a game of cribbage.
But I want to play cribbage now.
I will teach anybody cribbage. It's great. It's the game that got me into games. Next up is
Me.
Anton. Yep.
You know what? I haven't done a rover mission yet,
Do it.
so I probably ought to do a rover mission.
Go out on the rover.
Rovin.
And I will go with the commander, I think.
All right.
You're a popular vehicle pal.
They're literally the commander. They're like the most important person here.
Right. And I think we'll head out to the ice field.
All right.
And I'll leave the commander to do the driving.
Fair enough.
So how good's your driving?
Their driving is textbook. So it is very competent and very safe, and we are getting there just fine.
Excellent. And there's probably a little small talk on the way. I can't think of anything in particular to talk about, so we'll just say there's small talk.
Sure.
And we get to this ice field, and so I'll say Val asked me to come and check this out. He wants to see if we can dig up a section of ice, and so he can do research on some whether there's any organisms embedded in this ice.
And it seems it's probably much easier for us to come out here and gather some of these samples than trying to bring all the equipment he'd need from the lab to evaluate it out here. So
yeah,
that seems wise.
So I've got I get out of the back of the rover sort of coring device. So you can, it's a tube, you dig down into the ice and get 2 meters worth of ice core, that sort of thing. Now, let's roll a dice, see what happens.
Roll.
1. It's the work you do alone.
Huh.
So I hand this Cora off to Dakota, and I ask them, okay, there's a nice section over there. Can you take a few more for me? And I've got a little more stuff to do here.
Dakota will absolutely take the necessary supplies to the indicated area and start, replicating the core sampling over there. Absolutely.
Cool. And whilst you're doing that, I have a little box from the rover that I take out to an area that's just out of sight with a shovel. And I will bury this box.
It's just a mystery.
Anton is forever like up to no
So
good in
good.
games.
So
Any games
good.
we play with him.
Ah, so
The
good.
funny thing is, it's never intentional until we get into the game.
And then it
just
happens, right? So good.
So yeah, and then we both get back to the rover. And here, sterling work, Commander.
Thank you, thank you.
Shall we head back?
Let us head on back.
Sorry, that wasn't a very exciting scene for you.
Oh no, that was good stuff.
What are you talking about? You set
That
up
was good stuff.
You set up a contingency where something none of us know is happening.
You planted a bomb on Mars.
Yeah, for all we freaking know. For all we know.
Okay.
It could just be a drama bomb.
Evidence of first contact.
Oh my god. Ridiculous. Okay. Oh my god. Okay. So it's my turn. So I'm gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna go over to the workshop and work on Rovy. Oh my god.
Rovy.
Okay. And I've been working on Rovy, and I've been making video series, and I'm like,
Yes.
I'm totally gonna like, you know, be like, hey everyone, it's day number, working on, look, here's Rovy, he's doing so good. I like pat him. I'm fully anthropomorphizing this machine, and I'm making the world fall in love with this machine is what I'm doing. I'm like, Rovy, you know, Rovy had some tough times. I took him out for a bit of a stroll. He had a bit of a problem, but I fixed it, and I show them like where. And I'm like, you see this over here? That was like old parts, but we've fixed them up. Luckily we had some new parts. Got him all fixed up. He's ready to go. Aren't you, Rovy? And I secretly underneath where you can't see on the camera hit something so that he like wiggle, like he moves, like a nod almost, like yeah. And I'm like, see, Rovy's doing so good. And I'm like, you know, so all you kids out there, don't forget, like, one day this can be, you know, this is Mars right now, but next it's Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, all those places you could go and let us know what's happening. You know, this all, we need your support. And I think because when we were in the galley and having that conversation, and Val was all like, wait, so we don't have full approval for this yet? It's because of like the bureaucracy was happening of like, well, this isn't, you know what I mean, back on Earth, the bureaucracy of like, you know, this isn't part of the mission, we can't do it. But a lot of people were like, you know, a lot of the scientists were like, oh, but it will give us good idea. But all the paper pushers are like, no, we can't do it. And like, so Hyun is using their fame and their like all of this like cutifying of the rovers to get the planet pushing behind this new plan. And to like, you know, so that there's like hashtag save Rovy, like, you know, let us have Rovy, you know what I mean? All this stuff is happening. Hyun is like,
great.
yeah, Hyun is getting us like pushed through so that like the next time the commander gets a call, it's gonna be like, fine, like, you know.
Well, now we have to do it.
Yeah, now we have to get Rovy up and working because the whole
like
planet.
The letters to Santa are all being like, except they're letters to Rovy, and they're all being dumped on the NASA's doorstep. And
yeah, that's what's happening now. So like, yeah, Hyun is fully like got everyone on board with the Rovy situation, and Rovy's like a Mars hero. I'm using all my fame, giving it onto Rovy. Rovy's now actually the famous one. I'm giving one of my 2 famous tags to Rovy.
Does famous work like that?
That's what I'm doing. I'm
famous.
giving one of my famous tags to Rovy, and now Rovy
Nice.
Rovy is now meme famous.
Rovy is Mars level meme
absolutely.
famous. Hell yeah.
Hilarious.
I'm doing good things with my time.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, getting lots done on Mars for sure. All right, Jan.
All right. Commander Dakota is going to be in the satellite room of the command module, doing a report back to mission control and our superiors. And this is going to be a rather different scene than many of Dakota's earlier scenes. And Dakota's alone in the module doing the report, filing all the appropriate things. And what you witness in the scene is that this becomes a complete dressing down of the commander by the leadership. And it is almost is that a pledge pin on your uniform level, just they ripping into the commander for violating protocol and going off book, and command is not pleased with what's going on. And they hold up as their evidence, right? Obviously, Dakota hasn't held anything back in the reports and been reporting like, hey, here's exactly what we've been doing and what's been going on. And it starts as hey, we're not happy that this project seemed to take precedence over this project. The corporations backing this are not happy that, there's reference of contaminants being planted alongside their, prescribed, projects and this whole rover project. And all of a sudden, the leaders in charge are holding up, images of Rovi having gone viral. Like, what is the meaning of this and all this sort of stuff? And it goes on for a while. The D word is thrown out once or twice, but nothing that's demotion, is, particularly, finalized, and the briefing is completed. And you see Dakota end the scene just, absolutely crestfallen and, just not in the same mental place they were kind of before the briefing began. And scene.
Why y'all do this sadness?
Jen, what did you do?
I'm helping. I'm doing good things. Gosh, why? Dang it.
All right. So this will be our last round.
Yeah.
Well, I had
What?
I had a scene that was going to paint the. I'm going to do it this. I'll do it the same. It's fine. Obviously, all four of us are all supporting each other, right?
Yes.
I think so.
Even if Earth is yelling at us right now.
Yeah.
Well, not all of Earth.
No.
Actually, the majority. This is only the 0.1% that's yelling at the commander and us.
That is a lot of people to be yelling at the commander.
0.00000000001%.
Well, now that's like half an astronaut. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go to the satellite room, but for
can we measure things in astronauts now?
Yeah. You're wasting literally billions of astronauts worth of supplies on Rovi. So this, I will go to the satellite room. I will not. I'll break trend
tradition.
and not bother the commander. This will just be me.
Oh wow.
I have set up we've set up a hammock in here so that we can comfortably have conversations with people back on Earth. And I'm doing the Life Without You prompt. And it's just going to be another. So I've got an actual plate, and it has potatoes on it. Not freeze-dried potatoes.
Ooh.
Not instant mash potatoes. These are the first.
Is this more contraband?
No, these are the first potatoes we managed to grow on Mars.
Oh, okay.
And my wife Mrs. Val is sitting at her table, and she is eating potatoes too.
Aw.
It's just literally just eating a plate of boiled potatoes with me because, that's just our tradition. But these are Martian potatoes. And we get to the scene, sort of mid-scene, and I'm saying, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think the kids should watch their show. I know this Rovi stuff's a little goofy, and I think it's gotten us in a lot of trouble, but we're on Mars, so fuck them. But I actually think the kids might be able to take something away from it. I never thought that I would say that about the hotshot, but it'll be good for them to kind of see what's actually happening up here, and it feels good to be kind of doing science for science sake. Not that we were not doing science before, but now, the stuff we're going to be gathering, the information we're going to be gathering, is going to make the next one of these easier, and the one after that even easier. And so, I don't know. I'm sure Instagram isn't cool anymore, but if they want to tune in, into Ian's show, I think that they might actually get something from it. So, don't tell them I said that. These potatoes need salt. End scene.
Very nice.
I almost didn't do it because you were like, it was like talking about that show seemed to be bad now, but whatever, we're all in this together.
No, that was perfect.
Like I said, I think I still think that like the overall view from Earth is like a big positive.
Oh sure, yeah.
Like
we have the public opinion in our pocket for sure. You slap a couple of googly eyes on anything, and people are gonna fall in love with it.
People in real life to this day love the actual rover as it is.
Oh, I know. All I had to say was it sings "Happy Birthday" to itself, and you all started crying. So
yeah, that's right.
I understand.
People would go gaga for this. I'm just.
Anton, you're up.
This is the last round, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have a question. So there's nothing we need to do at the end?
Nope.
Okay.
It ends as with our return to Earth. We tell our story of the last days, I guess, if we want, by going to the return shuttle.
Okay.
So I'm gonna sit in my cabin in the habitat, and I'm gonna call in Val. I hand you a data pad or an iPad or whatever.
I have my iPad for playing solitaire, but then we all have official, data pads that are meant for business. So
yeah, so I hand you a data pad and say, this has got on it everything you guys need to know for the return trip.
All right. Well, then I'll just hand that back to you. I'm glad that. It seems like it took too long to write it down, but that's fine. That's good. I'm not even gonna look at it. I trust. If you need, I'll just sign the bottom. What?
You need a copy.
This is Greek to me.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. We've known each other a long time, Val.
Yep, 12 missions. Well, I guess this is our lucky 13th.
Yeah. And there's a lot of work we've done here. It's moderately self-sustaining, and there's a lot of research.
Well, that's why we're leaving the rovers.
Yeah.
The hotshot and the commander came up with a plan, and again,
It's a good plan. It's a good plan.
it is good. I think that's good. They're going to be sending information back that's going to be so useful.
Val, I'm staying.
On Mars?
Yes.
Staying on Mars?
Yes.
Why would you do that?
Well, you know, I mean, other than you, there's nobody really back at home, and you know, it's worthwhile work. There's enough here; it will sustain me at least until the next mission.
Yeah, but you're going to be alone up here, Mew. You're gonna go batty.
Yeah, that doesn't
and I
bother
love
me.
potatoes as much as the next guy, but you know they need salt. I don't think the commander's going to sign off on this. We've got 4 seats, and they need to have butts in them when we get back.
Well, I mean,
they're already under a lot of heat.
Yeah, I have a solution for that, and
you're just going to send your butt back?
Well, there'll be something in the seat. It won't be my butt.
Okay.
But you know, yeah, I'm sure the commander won't sign off on it. He's not going to find out. Oh, they're not going to find out till after you left the surface.
This the Statipad has 133 pages, Mew. I can't even read the first word.
You'll be fine. It'll be fine.
What if the lights start flickering on and off for real? What if an engine falls off, Mew? You can't not come back with us.
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
I have to worry about it, Mew. It could be. It's going to be another half a year before we're even back, and then it's probably going to be another 2 or 3 years before we send another mission out. I can't stop you, but I can't sign off on it.
I don't need you to.
I know that you don't need any of us to sign off on it. Well, you probably should get the commander to sign off on it, but Mew, it's crazy. I get that the science might be worth it in your mind, but isolation is the worst thing that can happen to somebody. And you're going to be really isolated up here. I gotta go.
Val, it's been good knowing you.
I do not say anything. I move out of the room as fast as I can. I get to the lab. And maybe I'm crying there, I don't know. It's not my scene. I don't have a scene left.
Do you want me to walk in on you crying?
No.
No.
Anton has doubled down on the sad boy for me.
I know, seriously. Like, y'all were like, how can I sad boy each other? Oh, I'm gonna be sadder. No, I'm gonna be sadder. Like, I feel like that's what just happened.
I was trying to do sweet grandpa. That's all I was aiming for.
Sweet grandpa.
Sweet grandpa. All right.
I don't know. I actually was trying to think of what I'm doing with my last scene, and I can't.
Well, why don't you tie a bow in the rover plan?
I guess I could do that. Okay, well then I'll go to satellite. I'll go to the satellite. Did we? So we did eventually get the. I mean, I said it, but I just want to check with everyone. We got the eventual like thumbs up, where they're like, "Fine, do it." Like you.
Oh yeah.
If we don't do
Eventually,
it,
yeah.
the world is going to be mad at us now, basically.
There's nothing they could do to us now, right now,
Yeah.
to stop us.
Well, no, but I think they eventually would have had to have publicly said, like, guess what, y'all, we're doing, you know what I mean? They would have eventually, like, it's better for them to look like they're on board and get some of that PR for themselves than,
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? They probably reamed us out
Eventually,
on the side
A
while
very
they were...
stern-looking general has to do a press conference and has to say, #save Rogue.
Yeah. We made that happen, y'all. It's great. Yeah, like so basically I feel like they reamed us all out on the side, but they publicly had to like get on board and start doing the hashtag and putting out stickers, and people are demanding Rovi merch, and like they're like, well, we either get on this gravy train or... And in Hyun's head, they're just like, I know, it's great, you're welcome. I know. We did such a good thing here. Yeah, so I guess that's Hyun's final scene then is in the satellite, and it's sending a report back, like a final like video blog of like of like maybe even either a visual of like the rovers being sent out, like either like there they go, like
sure.
they did it, you know, you all banded together with hashtag save Rovi.
A day or two before launch or whatever.
Yeah, a few days before launch, it's like, you know, we did it, they're out there now, and they are going to like give us so much more information. And the fact that there's 3 of them out there right now, you know, supporting each other, it means that each of them is just like better for it, because, you know, when we're all together and we support each other, that's when we're at our best. And the rovers are the same way, like, you know, as a team, they're so much stronger, they'll gather so much more information, they'll be able to watch out for potholes in the future. You know, all hands on deck, we got this, team, go Earth. Like, we did it. Also Mars, yeah. Yeah, and literally so Hyun's last scene, and if anyone was willing, Hyun would have wanted other members of the team there, but I feel like most members would have said no. Would anyone have come?
Beforehand, I would have said something like, so, like, I told my grandkids to watch this. If I say something on the thing, they're gonna hear it, right?
Yeah, come say hi to them.
So you at the end, you like, and we have a special message or something, and you pull me in, and I just say, "Hey James, hey Agatha, it's your pop. We're coming home soon. Hashtag save Rovi." And then I like step out of the shot awkwardly. Yeah. Maybe an arm is still in the shot.
Yeah.
And you hear me say, "Am I still in the shot?"
Anything from the commander?
Oh, absolutely. And again, kind of bashfully, hesitantly, but again, with their hair done in their best, you know, kind of hotshot way. And, we'll absolutely deliver one of those kind of saccharine commandery kind of like, you know, hey, the team pulled together, and, you know, we were so happy to be able to accomplish this for everyone. And, you know, absolutely. You know, still looking a little awkward in the spotlight, as it were, but, you know, absolutely wanting to be there.
Heck yeah. Double thumbs up. Be like, look over at the doc and double check. Hey Doc, am I okay to do some finger guns this time? Will you give me the okay?
Yeah, just point them away from your face.
Yeah, there we go. Team Mars signing off. We'll be home soon. Take care. Hashtag Team Rovi. And that's like, you know, end the final call from us to Earth.
Cool.
Very appropriate.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Heck yeah.
All right, Commander.
Send us home, Commander!
So, yeah, it falls to me to capstone this. All right.
Yeah, and
I'll have one last thing after you left.
Of course.
well, I don't know if the scene has to deal. It will have to be with dealing with it, but I would have come to you if Mew didn't. Just so you know. Sorry, Mew, but I would have told him.
Yes.
Told them.
So the scene is going to take place basically as we land back on Earth.
Okay.
But to preface that, yes, we will have had plenty of conversations, and you will have seen that we left without Mew, but that the commander seemed to spend a lot more time doing communications back down to Earth on the return trip than we certainly did on the trip out to Mars. And we land, and there is a big fanfare reception, and it's the big kind of ticker tape thing and all that sort of stuff. And there is all sorts of the interweb's biggest press people want to talk to everybody and all that sort of good stuff. And but of course there's also all the kind of important debriefings and all the official things we have to go to on the way back. And you will see that there are not only our kind of official government representatives at all these meetings, but there definitely seem to be some representatives from that kind of shadowy corporation that bankrolled some of the projects and things like that. So there are your typical people in dark suits from a vague yet menacing government agency, or in this case a corporate entity that all seems to be branded with that weird kind of antlery kind of logo on it. And it seems that there is definitely a hiccup in the career of the commander, and there is definitely some official repercussions that aren't very publicly discussed, but there is definitely that for going off book. However, the both Hyun and Val are approached by this corporation, and there is significant opportunities for the establishment of kind of rover publicity kind of events on one hand, and kind of more kind of a endowment for a whole kind of botanical study kind of organization set up in the Valetti name and things like that. And there's a lot of talk about the team, and you discover that this kind of independent wealthy corporation had already sent up a kind of second mission to Mars that should be arriving sooner than another governmental mission, on the off chance that there is still, plenty of hope to hold out there. So it seems that the commander has been able to use some connections to make things work out as positively for the team as possible. And when you see Dakota in moments of introspection, there doesn't seem to be any regret at the kind of career loss, but more that kind of satisfaction in being able to make their kind of found family successful and have positive outcomes as a result of the mission. And that's what we'll end it on.
Nice. Good stuff. I just want to say really quickly, welcome, hi Raiders. We were rated.
Oh yes.
Welcome. Welcome Party
Yes.
RPG. I hope your D&D game went really, really well. We're playing an indie game called Life on Mars. You're actually catching us right at the end. Apparently 3 out of 4 of us just got home, apparently. You know, we made it to Mars okay, and then I mean I will let the remaining party
to make sure our
explain
fourth had a
themselves.
lifeline if they want it, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will
we
will let the
Do we want like a 1-sentence epilogue each or something?
Well, I mean, my one last scene was just going to be after you launched. I was going to have there's going to be radio communication with Hyun and just say, so, have you worked out who's being left behind yet?
Nice.
You brat. This is reminiscent of every game I've ever played with you. Like I swear.
And I contemplated over the last few minutes the idea that perhaps he had some kind of terminal cancer or something that meant that he wasn't actually going to survive the journey home anyway, and he kept that from Val.
Well, that's sad. That's if you were just saying stay behind, eat potatoes, and do science, I would have been a little better with that.
Yeah, same. I was like, oh well, he's like.
I like the imagery. I like the final imagery of the movie. Of this being that we thought you were going to be up there for 3 years alone.
Yeah.
But the commander saw fit to get literally our ship is taking off, and you know, as we're leaving Mars, another ship is heading down to, you know, to continue the work, so you won't be alone up there. So I like
that's
that.
That's a nice version. We'll go with that.
I like that last imagery.
Cool.
Deernicorn has made these like amazing little story engines. It's amazing how easily, because even on that trip to Mars, like the first one, there's so few different rooms. It's cramped and stuff, but we were like, each room just gave us all these ideas for things. I love
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Their games are so good.
Yeah, for anyone that just got here and didn't get to see it, this game was played in 2 stages. So the first stage where we headed over to Mars and we were stuck in the little ship together, and we only had these few options of scene prompts of what to do together. And then we continued over to where we actually got on Mars and worked on our mission. And as you can see, just had to set up all this cool stuff to do, and there was like a lot of variety in what we were able to do. I don't know. I thought it was all great. Honestly, I didn't know what the heck to do, because this is one of those GM-less, prep-less games that you just jump into, and literally as we were starting, it was like, who's taking what role? What are we doing? And I was like, literally like, whatever's left, I'll take it. I don't know, Seth, we're gonna do this, and I think it was a lot of fun. I hope everyone enjoyed their roles. I hope no one is too mad at me for being annoying, but
we didn't give you the annoying tag, and it was available. So keep that in mind.
Is that your way of saying a nice thing? Is that you didn't label me annoying?
Well, I'm just saying, if you worried, you thought we were annoying, there was a way for us to codify it, and we didn't. So obviously, we didn't think you were annoying. So there you go. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe that's just because you wanted to stay in my
I promised, I vowed to not make this sad.
I know. And Anton made it sad.
And no joke, I told Jess like earlier this morning, like, I'm gonna try real hard to not let sad boy Jordan leak into the story, but even Jan, you snuck a little sadness, a little. Your character grew quite a bit, and I got to be the person who dragged you back into the socializing thing, so that was fun.
I appreciate it. It was a great deal of fun. I was terrified to start this because I love these kind of games, but I am so uncomfortable coming out of my shell to participate in them usually. But this was a great deal of fun.
I've come to realize that this is why I do the why I throw a wrench in the works each time. because it makes it easier for me to engage with.
Sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a good thing because the game is GM-less. You need everyone needs to be GMing a little bit, and part of GMing is throwing wrenches into the works, right?
Sure.
I like to do the emotional dagger twist more than I do the oh no, the ship's on fire, but it's all the same, right? I really enjoy playing Will
Oh, this was a good time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is
really, really good game.
Yeah. It is very good. Okay, I guess let's go around and everyone say where folks can find you, and if there's anything you wanted to say or do or plug, you can feel free to do so. Or if you just want to instead tell us what your favorite thing about life on Mars was, you can do that too. Why don't we go reverse around? So starting with Jordan this time, heading backwards from our initial hi hellos.
My name's Jordan. I'm at Made of Cartoons anywhere where that matters, and you can catch me on this channel fairly regularly. And the next time I think will be next Saturday or a week from today, where we're picking up our Blades in the Dark, our Blades in the Dork game, as we call it, because they're all a bunch of dorks. So yeah, I'm jamming that. We're having a lot of fun befriending ghosts. My favorite part, I mean, I've been excited about this game because I like Deernicorn a lot, and Fall of Magic is one of my favorites, and then sci-fi stuff is always, like space stuff, especially kind of semi-realistic space stuff is always really great. So I enjoyed everything, but I think it was the private message from Anton, because he did send me a private message over the Zoom chat to say, I could just read the specifics here.
Sure.
Call him out. Drag him through the mud.
Yeah, definitely.
Where is it? 1 second, sorry. So yeah, the message is, I feel like we as grumpy old boys should start some shenanigans. And I replied, what you got in mind? And he said, start a critical alert, ? And so I said I'd follow his lead. And later in the chat, I call him a chaos goblin. So yeah, that was fun. And then I tried, it realistically probably would never have gone along with it. But because this is just a game, obviously, yeah, let's flicker the lights on the spaceship to make everyone terrified. That's definitely something an old grandpa would do, but it's yeah. So that was probably, I definitely enjoyed that.
Funny. Jan?
So I'm Jan Allenson. I'm at Jan Allenson on the Twitters and Facebooks and all the social medias, and I tend to hang out here a lot, whether it's lurking in the chat room for some Animal Crossings or Stardew Valleys, or participating in the random fiasco games or what have you. So piggybacking off that, I was really intrigued with where Anton was going with his critical alert, and then watching Val just kind of lean into it and go, hey, as long as you're doing that, why don't you just stick it to the pilot a little bit? and then doubling down on that with the pilot and going, no, Mew's always telling the truth.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Just wonderful yes-anding and just picking up on ideas and just rolling with them. It was wonderful.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Mew's the most genuine person on this spaceship.
Oh, so good.
Good times. Oh, it's me. I should have done this in a different order. Well, hi, I'm Jess. This is my channel. You can find me echo_GG. If you found this, good job. You found me. You can probably find some links. I've actually put the cast in the chat, so you can go find their Twitters. Come hang out. Follow this Twitch channel if you haven't already for more indie games, more nonsense games, more quick chaos games, more sad boy games, because it's gonna keep happening. because I keep inviting these people back, and they keep breaking my heart with sad. I even tried to take the rover, which is so sad, and turn it into something happy. I'm like, give me... Jordan, like you said, even you just saying, is it singing itself happy birthday? No! I'm so averse to all the sadness. I'm like, I'm gonna make everything happy all the time. I'm a brat, I'm sorry. Y'all still did excellent dramas and wonderful things. Yeah, like, I think one of my favorite things was probably just when Jordan was trying to do this stuff in the agricultural dome, and Anton in our private chat was just like, weed! Like,
and I was planting a weed.
Oh, so
A
good.
different type. Yeah.
Weed is happening, I know it. Like, my weed sense is tingling, Anton.
Dandelion wine on Mars.
Oh gosh, that was awesome. Yeah, so Anton, what's your favorite?
I am Anton, at Anton Carmola, in most places. Currently, if you go to my Twitter, in addition to hugs and love and all sorts of things, I am currently doing a drawing of Kit Buss's Lilith from Critical Role.
Yes. So good.
Which I hope to finish within the next week, maybe. We'll see. Depends what other stuff I have to do. In terms of what I most enjoyed about this, I most enjoyed causing shenanigans. And yes, I did check in with Jordan first, just to see whether he was up for it, because it's always good to play off people. And I am really happy how well you guys went along with it. So yeah, I enjoyed that.
Awesome. Yeah, well, this was an awesome game. Thank you all so much for playing, and thank you so much everyone who hung out and all the heckin' raids we got while we were playing. That was really awesome. Like Jordan said, next week, this sort of same time slot, we'll be back with Blades in the Dark. In like basically half an hour, I'll be back on the channel here, back in space with Dustin for some Destiny with Dustin, which we do on Saturday, so you can come hang out with that. And tomorrow, Borderlands with Slayer, starting at the same time this started at 1 p.m. EST. And later in the day, I'm actually going to be over on Salty Sweet Games, where we are going to be wrapping up our little mini series of Ross Rifles, which is a Canadians in World War I TTRPG, which is a very cool, a very cool little game. It's a very neat little game. Yeah, I'm very excited. And actually, like right before, I don't know if it was right before we started playing it, they actually released a new class that we didn't get to play yet, but so they actually released a medic class, which they didn't have before.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so there's that game is like also very cool. Funded on Kickstarter, is ever evolving. It's very cool. I'm excited to do that tomorrow. But in the meantime, probably just gonna let y'all go, because like I said, this channel will be live again in like half an hour. So thank you all for playing. Thanks so much everyone for hanging out.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you all for more games later. Bye.
Bye everybody.